All right, we live? Yes, indeed, we are live. This is the Nature Show, man. First day of free agency. You know, we're going to bring it to y'all. This is a whole new year. The last time y'all saw us, it was Super Bowl Sunday, man. Shout out to the Chiefs. They went ahead and took that one in, and they the Super Bowl champions, man. So we're going to salute them right now and salute the San Francisco 49ers, who probably should be the Super Bowl champions if they would have kicked the ball first. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If they would have kicked the ball first, but they chose to receive. So, you know, that's how that cookie crumbled for them. So shout out to everybody out there listening. This is the Nature Sports Podcast, giving y'all day one of free agency. So what we want to do right now is go over all of the signings, well, the current signings. Vito gonna have to bring you one of them because one of them are not on my board. He was more familiar with what's going on with that one. But the ones that are on my board, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you right now. You got Frank Louvo coming from the Carolina Panthers. He is signed for $36 million. $12 million this year against the cap. He didn't get any guaranteed money. You got Doris Armstrong from the Cowboys to Washington. He signed for $33 million, $11 million against the cap, and he got signing bonus. What did he get? Guaranteed 16 guaranteed. So you know he got 16 guaranteed. Then you got Tyler Biadasz from the Dallas Cowboys. Also, he got $30 million off the top, and he'll be $10 million a year with that one. He signed for 2 years. He's 26 years old. Doris Armstrong is also 26. Frank Louvo is 27. You got Antonio Gibson, who went to New England today. He went to the Patriots today, and Jacoby Brissett also went to the Patriots today. You have Austin Eckler, who signed with Washington for 2 years. Frank Louvo signed for 3 years. Armstrong signed for 3 years. Biadasz signed for 3 years. Gibson signed for 3 years with the Patriots, and he's getting $11 million a year. $11 million total, $3 million a year from the Patriots. And Jacoby Brissett is going back to New England on a 1-year deal for $8 million. He's leaving Washington as well. So you got, and the last one, Vito, could you give it to him?
Nick Allegretti.
Yes, indeed. So that's what we got so far, guys. What you want to chime in?
I forgot about Austin Eckler.
No, I say Eckler. Austin Eckler. I don't know how long he signed for. He signed for 2 years. They only got him down for 2 years, but they don't have no money.
Don't forget McManus.
Oh, Brian McManus. Yeah, Brian McManus. Brian McManus. Yeah, that is one I missed. Brian McManus. He's 32 years old. He signed for 1 year. $3.6 million on that one. Absolutely, big son. Good looking on that. Brian McManus also signed as well. So right now, what we want to do is just get the general thoughts on what y'all thought, you know, with the Redskins, what they did today, and how y'all feel about the signage. We can go one by one. I go last.
Me, I go first. It's been heavy on my heart. I'm gonna go back to Zach Ertz. We didn't even talk about Zach Ertz. I'm gonna go back to Zach Ertz. A lot of people think Zach Ertz is over the hill. And you may think that looking at his film and stuff, but I look at the Zach Ertz that knows the breakdown of the game and can teach some young guys that we have on the field how to really play tight end. He might be over the hill, but his knowledge of the game, I don't think his knowledge of the game is over the hill. Do I like the signing? I'm praising the guy. No, I don't like the signing. We had other options we could have chased out there. Honestly, I like the pickup of the linemen. I like Eckler. I just think Eckler is not used to the NFC East, and he's going to take some bruises, and there's going to be some battles out there. But I still like the guy. Nonetheless, he's a dog. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to feel about Armstrong right now, so just give me some time and let that one soak in a little bit. I really don't know how to feel about the guy because we already had a guy that could produce in the same facet in my eyes if he had the opportunity to. Right now, that's pretty much all I have on that subject matter, so I'll let somebody else have the floor right now.
All right, it's Uptown Vito, or unless you want to go, Leo.
I can go. I'm about to talk my shit though. Just letting y'all know. Hey, look.
Wait, because I got some.
So I'm gonna be
As it
honest.
should.
I think that this beginning of this free agency has been trash. It's been trash. We had some of the most money in the league, and instead of going after Bryce Huff, we go after Dorrance Armstrong. Bryce Huff got $6 more million than Armstrong or something like that. Bryce Huff is a way better pass rusher, and we go after a cowboy. You know, there were several good people out there. Saquon Barkley from your division rival is on the board, and you don't make a shot at that. You don't go at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, the people that we signed, Zach Ertz, I could say Zach Ertz could be help, but is Zach Ertz a starting consistent? Is he a threat in the NFL today? No. Why aren't we taking this money and going after either like saying, okay, this free agency, we're going to focus on offensive line. So we're going to grab up all the good offensive linemen, or we're going to grab up the other pieces that we need. It's been trash. It's been horrible. We signed a kicker, don't really need a kicker. You know what I mean? Like, the shit they doing is stupid. And I'm going to be real. I'm just be 100. It's stupid, and it's stupid. And V, you can go ahead, because I got more to say, but I'm going to leave it right here so I can continue on in the show.
Oh my. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to the people. Uptown Vito. I am ecstatic about being here because the guys will tell you I've been up and down about this entire process. I've had my highs, I've had my lows, probably more lows than highs. And I talked to a friend of mine, and what he gave me was, he said that this entire process right now is shock therapy for the Skins fan, for the real fans that are trying to wrap their head around the culture change, but still has a hand on the old culture of the past. It's shock therapy. And what I mean by that is that we have a staff that is made up of two coaches that you never take. When we had North Turner back in the day as an ex-Cowboy, the entire fan base hated it. No matter that we had to go through it and play it because that's who's hired, nobody liked it. And when Quinn came over, I absolutely hated the move. I feel like there were other, in the same way that we approach coaching, the coaching free agency is the same way that we approach free agency with the players. We waited for other people to move first, as if we didn't have an idea of what we wanted to do. When the first player off the board, and this is my opinion, I added this to the group chat. Your first player, when you have a new staff and you've put this much into getting your staff together, if you would have did what Rose said, which was keep this out of the media. Don't do no PR for this. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Going to do and do it. Then we can all question what they're doing, but say, hey, we don't know what the plan is. But when you do it and you bring it out in the media, now you give us all of the right to question every move. In my opinion, when you go out and sign Zach Ertz for your first free agent signing, knowing that we had more money than anybody, that doesn't scream for any of these guys to call their agents and tell them to call the Commanders up and see what they have to offer. I'm sorry, Zach Ertz's last time playing on a football field is 2021.
Absolutely.
Maybe 22. So this is going on to 3 seasons that he hasn't played football and been effective. Cliff Kingsbury hasn't been with the Cardinals for a couple of seasons, which means that Zach Ertz hasn't played since then as far as being a starter. I don't understand bringing on someone who hasn't had – me personally, I would go after George Kittle in a trade for that matter. The 49ers are willing to try to save some money at this moment. I'm not saying that they would come up off the player or Hunter Henry. There are other players that I could have looked at if I'm looking at just trying to find a safety piece for my new quarterback or the quarterback that I have. That's number one. Number two, I personally don't understand anything this offseason, if you're asking me, because Cliff Kingsbury was a big deal to sign, and Brian Johnson is our passing game coordinator, and he's our assistant head coach. I do not get the two, and I don't get the reason why the title was even given when you made a big deal about taking Cliff Kingsbury from the Raiders. If you all knew or not, Magic Johnson is the reason we have Cliff Kingsbury.
I'm not.
Magic Johnson is a basketball player. He's an investor on this team, but I don't ever remember like Jerry Jones going to go find offensive coordinators.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you have a general manager for?
Yeah.
What was the purpose to bring in Peters if you're using Magic Johnson as a selling piece to try to sway people away from whatever they're going to do? I personally do not like Cliff Kingsbury. I didn't like him in Arizona. I didn't like the fact that he went there, and that's not my team. I don't care that the Cardinals went to the playoffs. Kyler Murray was any dual threat, as if any, and I know it's kind of cheesy to use Madden, but I just use this because people are familiar with the understanding of it. Any dual threat that you know how to run the ball with in your system, you can have success with. Once everyone figured out how to stop Kyler Murray from scrambling, the Cardinals didn't have as much success, and that's whether he was hurt or not. And not to take anything from that, and the second time that they went to the playoffs, I think it was with either a losing record or a 9-7, like last game of the season, went beating somebody in my division to get there, which is all good. Still a playoff berth, but it wasn't dominance. In USC, we all talked about it. Caleb Williams is the big deal coming out of college right now as quarterback. I don't like what Cliff Kingsbury did there last year with the potential number one quarterback pick. So I really don't understand the picking of him. And again, this is your offensive coordinator, and you gave someone else the title above him of assistant head coach. Now, I looked up the title, so everyone is not as confused as I was at first because I was really upset about it. The assistant head coach literally sets up your practice schedule. He is how your players get prepared for the week. So your offensive coordinator still isn't even going to be responsible for setting up the itinerary for the rookie or for Sam Howell. I don't like that. I just don't like that. Yeah. Then one of the last things, and I'll try to cut it as short as I can. Last two free agents, or not last two, but Diaz and Armstrong. My first initial, I did not like either pick because they're ex-Cowboys. But before I completely hate it, I do remember we covered the draft 4 years ago when Diaz got drafted. And under his draft title, he was the number one center in the country. I remember seeing that. And he didn't play the first year, and I thought that he was a backup. I didn't know that he started last year and this year. Last year, he's a Pro Bowler. So even though we're taking him from the Cowboys, and I don't like that because they're Cowboys, we're taking their starting Pro Bowl center from their line. I can't be too mad at that. Who was the number one and number 3 or 4 offense in the league 2 years in a row. So the center has to know, he at least knows coverages and stuff like that for his line. Also, he'll be beside Cosme, and they just signed the guy, Nick Allegretti, today. I have to go look at Allegretti's film. I have to go see if this is something that will help or work. But if he's beside 2 guards, i.e. the same way he was in Dallas, he can have a good season. He's only given up 3 sacks in the last 2,000 and something snaps. That's all of last year and this year included. He's only given up 3 sacks. That's Wiley gave up that, and Gates gave up that combined 3 times over. So if we can go off of potential and what they possibly can do, I'm not necessarily mad at Diaz. Armstrong, I took a look at, and again, same thing. I was upset because this is a Cowboy pick, and I'm trying to figure out why we're doing this. I understand the familiarity in Dan Quinn's system, but I also understand that you have to understand the division that you're coaching in. Well, guess what? I looked up Armstrong's number, and famously so, before he joined Dan Quinn, Armstrong was not a starter. He never started. He didn't even barely get minutes, but he was productive as far as practice, and he played special teams a lot. He was a rotation player in Jacksonville, I believe, and he was picked up by the Cowboys in 2021. For 2 years that he's played under Dan Quinn in his system, he's improved miles, and this is from other people around the league. and he's been number 2 as the Cowboys sack and quarterback pressures and quarterback hits. He's second on the team behind Micah Parsons. He's over Lawrence. He's over Gregory, who was there the year before. He was over both of these players. And like I said, he's second on their team in that particular regard. So even if he doesn't shine completely for us, I do like taking that away from a rival team in your division. Because now they have to go out and find these things, and they still have to go devise a system with the new coordinator who may like his own players. So I'm not going to say that I'm completely sold on those two. The center, I feel good about. The defensive end, defensive tackle, I have to give it some more time, but I do understand I understand that you're picking him because he knows your system, and he's grown every year that you've had him. So you're looking at trying to see if he can like hit that peak at this moment for that one. Austin Eckler, I somewhat agree with you guys, but I only have a difference in opinion because
hey V man, we got to break it down together, man, so we could chat it up together.
No, you all right. No, you all right. No, I wanted to hear. No, do you? I wanted to hear what you had to say on Eckler.
Because I want to hear Eckler.
I wanted to hear what he had to say on Eckler.
What I'm saying is, I want to start because I want to talk about Eckler as well. That's why I ain't talking about everybody.
I told you to go ahead. You were supposed to do all of
it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. What are we talking about then?
We're talking about the free agent.
Have some type of debate.
No, we're gonna get to that section. We're gonna get to that open floor.
I'm just going over how I felt about the free agent picks. These are just the free agent picks. I'm just mentioning that. Austin Eckler, I like. It's a 2-year deal. I don't like that we could have went after a few other people because I feel like we could have, done some other stuff. But I'll cover that part at another time. Austin Eckler, I like because one, he's tough as nails. He's always been proven to be tough. Number 2, he is a extraordinary pass blocker, which we don't have.
Okay. I like that.
He's got over 3,500 yards receiving, 30 touchdowns in his career receiving. He's got over 4,500 yards rushing and 20-something touchdowns. And he's got the most touchdowns since 2021 of any back at 17 and 18 consecutive years. This year he got a little bit hurt and stuff like that, but since 2021 up until this season that just passed, he was the leading league running back in touchdowns. So we're replacing a guy that was getting the touchdowns but fumbling a lot to a guy that's tough, can pass block, and can get the touchdowns, and can do the same thing that Gibson was able to do.
All right.
Also, his former coach, so that goes together as well. He's on our staff. That's our running back.
Lynn. Oh yeah, Lynn. All right. So me, I'm gonna say this. The thing about recycled coaches that you get a little bit is they have favoritism in guys that they previously had on their team. So like you just mentioned, Lynn went and got Eckler because he coached him before. It's clear that Dan Quinn went and got a couple players that he was familiar with as well.
Kingsbury got Eckler,
and then
Lynn got Eckler too, but it was Kingsbury.
Okay, Kingsbury had Eckler. I guess Kingsbury had Eckler as well.
No, they have him. They said that's who went to go. That's who fought for that pick.
Oh well, Kingsbury. Okay, yeah. But I know Lynn. He was with Lynn over there. And
I like Eckler. I do like Eckler.
Yeah, so that's the one thing and for me, and it's just my opinion, I always call that lazy when I know this guy, he good, let me just snatch him up and bring him here. You know what I mean? Now, again, Eckler has been really good. Eckler is coming off his worst season of his career this year. This past season, he's had the past 3 years. He had 2 really good years in 2022 and in 2021 were really good for him. But then last year it was injuries and there was a lot of stuff going on out there in LA. You know what I mean? And that could have affected his production as well. But his yards per carry dropped and other things dropped. So he's not coming off of the best season that he's had thus far. And it's a little bit alarming that I want to call him San Diego, LA. That LA said, hey, we're going to go ahead and let him go. I don't know if it's about the money. I don't know if it's about Harbaugh. Whatever reason, Harbaugh didn't make the play.
It's money. They have Keenan Allen that they got to re-sign. They got Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Mike Williams and Austin Lecker. They can't afford everybody.
Okay, so it was a money thing.
And Ro, don't forget Harbaugh and Vito too. Don't forget Harbaugh has a running back by the name of Blake Corum that he's probably looking at in this
Yeah,
draft.
that's what I was thinking. The
Yeah,
Michigan
no.
running back, right?
If he can, he's going to draft Blake for him. That's
Right.
Yeah.
he got his quarterback already, so he's not going to force a McCarthy pick.
Right. So for whatever reason they opted not to go that route. And I know Dallas has money problems as well, because Dak is about to reset the quarterback market and all this other stuff going on out there with their money. I will say this. I just felt like some of them positions it was better options, especially with Armstrong. I get it, he was with Dallas. The not starting thing and not having a team game plan against you is just alarming for me, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because for me, Tuhill looked really good when he would come in and do what he would do. He would look great, but when Tuhill started, we did not get the same type of production out of him when he became a starter.
I would say this, especially about Armstrong. We still got Danielle Hunter out there. You still got Eric Armstrong. It's still a lot of good players at that edge rush. Shaquille Barrett, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of edge rushers, and for me, like I do agree with V what he's saying, crippling the other team. Right, I can agree with that. But what you did is you created space for the other team, especially because you paid so much for him. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think that you should have
paid so much for who?
For Dorrance Armstrong.
No, y'all remember it. So okay, CPA. If y'all don't remember that, y'all know that they have to pay them a certain amount of money based on what the last person got. So when Chris Jones and Wilkins got signed,
if
Shawty, that anybody that would have got signed on the D line was going to get that type of money. That's why he's
right.
Well, he didn't get a lot of money against the cap. It's only $4 million. It's $4 million against the cap. 4.8 million against the cap.
Okay, that's not bad, actually.
Yeah, he got a lot of guaranteed money though. But so if we decided not to keep him for these 3 years, then we are going to eat some dead money because he got some. Yeah, he got a lot. He got 16 guaranteed.
Looking at his contract, it looked like he was going to get more money. You know what I'm saying?
All of it wasn't guaranteed.
Right. Now, as far as Nick Allegretti, he came from Kansas City. He was Kansas City's guard. And he didn't get a lot. I mean, he's only $3 million against the cap. My thing is this, okay? I get trying to be frugal, trying to be whatever you call it. Josh Harris is a money guy, so he's playing the money game right now. But my thing is, don't let people walk because you're trying to be frugal. And that's my only thing with it. Or don't let another team get players that otherwise they wouldn't have gotten because you're trying to be frugal.
Well, no, I mean, if he going to come in, this is the thing. Even if he don't start, even if he do start, you know what I mean? It really don't matter. If he going to come in at $4 million, I think, and you crippling your rival, I think that is a good bet.
Right.
I thought he was going to count more against the cap. That's what I thought. So that's why looking at his contract, I'm thinking $10 million and all that. And I'm like, you don't pay $10 million for Dorrance Armstrong when you can go get Danielle Hunter and spend some real money. And don't get me wrong, he's going to get paid like everybody else going to get paid. But you go get somebody that's going to wreck the offense.
Right.
You know what
I'm not to disagree, because I definitely feel like that's what I thought that they would go after. I really felt like if Kirk Cousins would have stayed in Minnesota, they would have had no reason. I mean, they would have had no choice but to get rid of Danielle, and it would have left. Right now, he's probably going to be one of the higher end paid guys.
Exactly. We got the money though, and that's what I'm saying. If
we do, we got 147 million right now to play with.
Listen, if you got the money, and I'm not saying because below it.
Don't have it. Do y'all know we got 27 free agents that we got to sign?
Yeah, but no. We don't have to sign a lot of these guys. Okay, so we can go. Hold up, let's go into that then. Okay. Let's go into that. Now I'm gonna run the list off. We can go player for player. Charles Leno, sign or not? Let's go. What y'all think?
No.
Oh no, yeah, I'm a no with it
No,
too. I'm a no too. Curtis Samuel, sign or not?
No.
No,
no,
I'm a
because
yes on that. I'm a yes on that.
going to
no.
Depending on what you do in the draft, I'm gonna say this. Depending on what you do in the draft,
are still crazy. He's
yeah,
I'm saying no.
I'm gonna say a yes on that. I just don't feel like he was being used.
he,
I just think he has a lot of potential, and he wasn't being used properly.
he had a better year than your number one receiver. Why would you let him go? That don't even make sense. And you have to trade him. He's under contract. He can't just be let go.
No, he's not. He's
No, he's not. He's a
No,
free
he's
he's a
free
free
agent.
agent. He's a free
No,
He's a
agent.
free agent.
if you don't keep him, if you keep him, he'll be under contract. If you don't keep him,
Right.
and you're excuse me, if you don't keep him, then you have to pick Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
As
Let him go. Let him go.
they're
Let him go. Let him walk
not
and
gonna
go get Marvin Harrison.
not
It
gonna
makes
do
it makes perfect sense.
But
need to
like what Vito is saying, they probably not going to do it. Even if they do let him go, they still might not pick Harrison Jr. Is
They might
yeah
not. They
to
might
Vito's
not.
credit. But I
They
think
might not.
if you don't, if I think you don't, you put in your receiving core in a really bad position, in my opinion.
that's why I
Not
said
really. Not
I
really.
don't. We don't. I don't.
No,
I
I
mean,
like
I
that.
don't know.
I like Jahan.
I
I
like
like
Jahan too,
I
you've never seen
say,
Jahan number.
but
but
Kurt.
Have we ever seen him at the number two position in the pro game? No, we
no,
have.
but what I'm saying, you could always get one more
yeah, we
receiver.
had.
So since
Oh,
we already got Jahan, my angle at it at least,
I
since we
like
already
Samuels.
since we already got Jahan, getting just one more receiver is not that hard. You
yes,
get what I mean?
y'all know how
In
long.
my opinion.
Okay, I'm not
I
trying to.
say keep. I'm a sign. So what's the final? I say sign. That's what I say.
I say
Which
well because it. Look at how long it took us to get a number two receiver. That
yeah.
okay, this guy had a great year or great season or something like that. Bruh, we haven't had a number two good. Like if you would you want to say Deshaun Jackson? Who was the one between him and Garcon?
Right. Yeah. It was Crowder.
No. You have Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garcon. There's a one and a two there. Crowder's not the two. Crowder was the
No, he was the three. That's what I'm saying. I thought you meant who was the three. I thought you meant who you were saying who was the
third
three.
number two. When is
Okay,
the
right.
Garcon and Jackson combo? When is
Right.
the had a good number two receiver?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they not
That's
just
why I say sign.
I mean
no,
to find out
no, I don't sign him.
I think he has. I'm gonna say this. I think he has Debo Samuel's Cooper Cup potential. We just
Yeah,
don't use him like that.
yeah, he
And
has. Even when we use him like that, he's not explosive like them guys.
I disagree. I disagree.
gotta go one at a time so I can hear who y'all talking about.
Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuels is proving that.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah. I like him.
if we take out the enemies last year, if we go to who I did not like, if we go to Scott Turner's last year, Curtis Samuels was a monster.
Yeah, he was.
He was a monster this year without any screen. He barely
Mm-hmm.
any screens, and that's probably his attribute is to catch off the screen and go. He had a great with Scott, and I didn't even like Scott's offense. Y'all all know that. He had a great year under Scott. He has played some of his football since he's been with us, and I don't say that you have to sign him because of that. But in my opinion, sign him and you trade him if you're going. You don't just lose him through free agency.
Yeah.
I
I thought you should have traded him
I
too.
think he's a top talent. That's just me. I think he's
But I'm saying my
I'm,
opinion.
get me here when I say this. I do not disagree with you guys. The top talent, we should keep him and all that. The only reason why I say we don't keep him because if we keep him, that's going to keep us in that market just right there. You know what I'm saying? We already got a guy we're trying to build up in Jahan Dotson.
So
You know what I'm saying? So if you keep him,
Big Son,
where's the room for Jahan Dotson to grow one? And when this other guy come in that we get, suppose we get Marvin Harrison Jr., right?
all right.
Now you spent money on him, keeping him around, and you really don't need him.
but then you could deal him on draft day if that's the case.
Exactly. Number one. Number two, y'all have to understand that we're not. If this was last year, I would buy everything that we're saying right now. This is a new coaching staff, and I'm actually agreeing with Roe as much as I don't sometimes. I'm actually agreeing with him and saying that hey, somebody's job probably is going to be on the line based on based on how sure they are about certain moves. Because some of these signings feel sure about these guys. And there, like we said, there's other people that we feel like they definitely should have probably tried to attack. So your shortness on your guys is where you put the money at. They're going to have to come through, or it's going to show that whichever coaches are responsible for these picks, that's going to look a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm saying that if you have the opportunity, last year, the reason why you don't trade Samuels is because obviously you were trying to see what you had with Sam Howell. And you don't get rid of the weapons when McLaurin wasn't having his best year. Samuels was having a better year. So if you get rid of Samuels like they did with the two ends, as you can see, they wasn't going to replace the player. So now with De'Ami Brown, who didn't prove that he should have got another contract or nothing like that right now. Not saying that he can't play. I'm just saying that he hasn't had that type of career where you can bank on letting go of Samuels and saying we're going to go with De'Ami Brown and Dotson as our 2 and 3. You don't have that yet. So I think that until they can figure out like where they're sure at, like what, you know what I'm saying, what do we know we have? I think that they feel good about the offensive side of the ball. If we look at it, the only thing they added was a running back, a tight end, 2 things that they got rid of, and 2 guards, something that we didn't have any of last year that we needed. Most of that Adam was on the defensive side because we have a defensive coach who's trying to build his quote unquote system. That means it gives us room to draft those wide receivers or those cornerbacks and stuff like that. It's like I told you, I feel like we should have went after Ladarius Sneed, but me even thinking that the same way what I was saying, Bill Hunter.
He went back though.
Huh?
He went back. He went back to
Kansas City. Yeah, he did.
No, I'm not necessarily saying him per se. I was just talking about the amount of money that was going to take to try to sign him. Or
right.
They did with getting Davis down in with Lions, Davis the third and shit like that.
Yeah.
2nd round and the 5th round pick. So what you gotta give up for them guys is, I feel like the Lions were in a better position to do that because they already know where they're going. We feel a certain way about the players that are left on the roster. The coaching staff has to figure that out. The coaching staff only has these guys on paper. They haven't been at practice with none of these guys or nothing like that's on our squad. Everybody that they bringing in and stuff like that, like I said, I feel like they bringing in their guys so that they can say, okay, this is how I know this person knows what to expect from me when I'm asking him to go to work, when I'm asking him to hustle and practice. Like I can use these guys as examples for the guys that's already to say that, hey, this is what I expect from you guys. All right, completely understood. I feel you on that. I ain't arguing that. That's cool. The thing to follow with that is like what Rose said, or what Point said. Are these guys superstars, or are these guys just fillers because we've paid a lot of money just to fill spots? You know what I'm saying? I don't. I said this before I got on. I don't agree with what they did with the salary cap. That's what was unfair to us. They shouldn't have the salary cap for the whole league while we had the most money. That's the second time that this shit has happened since the last draft with Luck and RG3. We had the most money either the year before that or that year. And the same thing, the NFL raised the salary cap. That shit don't, somebody else got the most money. Why does it always happen when we got the most money?
Right. I agree. So that's a no. So that's we split on Samuels, right? So let's keep it moving. Kendall Fuller.
No.
I say yes. I say yes.
We don't have anybody else.
That because we don't have anybody else. I agree with that.
I'm not starting here with rookies.
And honestly, I feel like he got Dak Prescott number. And you don't have too many people here that has the number of anyone in the NFC East.
You know what? I am. You're right. Y'all right. I'm going to change my drink right here. I would not mind re-signing Kendall Fuller for the right price.
Right, for the right price. For the right price. For the right price. That's
what I'm about to say.
All right.
Yeah, they're in the bracket, but let's go on. Let's move on.
Logan Thomas.
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm a no too.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. It's just a no.
I just bringing them back.
No, it's a hell no for me.
I went Big Son on this one. Hell no.
What did he do?
If you want
he didn't do anything wrong
and catch a pass and dive into a defender with no cause, that's your man. But
he didn't do anything wrong. No,
nothing wrong, Big Son.
I'm just saying that he just don't have enough speed
wild
for
style
me.
Of play, he was getting concussed and all of that. Like, dude, he was getting hit. Don't get me wrong, he was getting hit. but some of it was self-inflicted wounds. So, you know what I'm saying? A guy like that, this ain't wrestling, my man. This not WWE. So, hell no. I'm done
Yeah,
with him.
I don't like. Yeah, he don't have enough speed for me. That's just me. Cody Barton. Cody Barton.
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm hell no
Uh,
too. I'm
no,
super hell no. I'm super
no,
hell no for Barton.
no. It's Devin White out there, man. We should be going after Devin White
I
now.
agree with Point in that one. I agree with Point on that one. Devin White would be a game changer.
Oh, it's some good guys in the draft too, though. Now some certified dogs
Yeah.
like Jeremiah
Oh,
Trotter Jr. I've been watching Shorty film. I like him, but let's move on because I get
All
caught
right.
up in Shorty. I like him, but anyway,
All right. So Cornelius Lucas. I say
no.
no. I say
I'm about
no.
to say who is that? Nah, but he a lineman, right?
Yeah,
Nah,
the offensive
Nah,
tackle.
nah.
nah.
Yeah. Left tackle. He's a left tackle. So that's a no. What you got, Vito, on Lucas?
Nobody from the offensive line.
Okay. All right. Jeremy Reeves.
Lawson should come. I feel like
I'm
Lawson.
keeping Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
keeping Reeves
Yeah.
in the shadows, though. I don't know.
I
I
like
might keep
Reeves.
Reeves in the shadows depending
I
on
like
what we do at
Reeves.
safety.
I like Reeves. I'm
And
gonna
he
tell
not gonna cost you a lot of money.
Are y'all talking about the special teams guy?
Yeah.
He is gonna cost you more. He went to the Pro Bowl last year.
The year before last. We ain't had no Pro Bowlers last year.
Last year, not this season.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. So I still don't think he gonna cost you with so much money.
No, I like him. I like him. I think that you can.
Just
He's
saying
a,
what Pro Bowlers would get. That's what I'm saying. If not, he gonna go to free agency unless he just wants the thing.
Right.
nah, I mean, to be honest, he's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg. He's gonna cost you some money, but to for a quality player,
I agree.
it's not a problem paying a quality player. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he proven that he proven that he could be the best at what he does in the league. And so, I don't mind paying a little extra for that. And he could be, like I said, of a corner, a safety. He can play other positions too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like Reeves.
He's done that.
Okay. Effie Obata.
Obata?
I would.
Obata.
No.
I would keep Obata.
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep the fucking.
He's 31 years old. I don't know if y'all realize that. He's 31 years
I
old.
know
If
I
we could
said
get him
no.
for
He
if
had,
we can get him for league minimum,
had
I'm
this
with it.
and this means that you would have to draft a defensive tackle in the draft. And to be very honest, I've looked at a lot of these players in this jump. I looked at the combine. This is not the best defensive year. Next year, you're going to have so many defenders come out that I don't know if you settle on the need this year over something that's going to have a shitload of players next year. Like the defensive side is going to be probably one of the deepest drafts next year, in my opinion. Safeties is a lot of safeties this year, but it's a lot of fucking linebackers, a lot of fucking edge rushers and shit like that coming out next year. I like I told you, I tried some interesting things this draft, and I wouldn't even stay in this draft. You got 5 picks in the top 100. I probably would keep 3. My first 2, I would trade out of because I feel like I would get so much more value in next year's draft, and the fact that I could probably get a player out of the trade that I would make to get rid of the pick this year because of the positioning that we had.
Well, let me say this. I always say that it's in the draft is gems. Whether they present themselves right now or not. Like not to be funny, CJ Stroud is one, for instance. If you looked at CJ Stroud's tape, he didn't really show everything he showed with the Texans. You did not see that on tape last year. I'm telling you, he wasn't the stuff that the colleges run.
That's me. I can't call a player in the first 3 picks of Jim.
Right. No, I'm just saying no. But I'm saying that when you look at his tape and you did not see some of the things that he ended up being capable of as he's gone through this season. You didn't see that because they didn't really give him an opportunity to show it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I just think,
systems and stuff like that too. So
yeah.
That's another reason why I do think that Caleb Williams is not as bad as some people think, but I can't give him good because it's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? I think my age is making me make Caleb Williams not that good based on the respect. I think football and basketball are totally different, and you can't just assume greatness without actually putting in the work and doing the work.
Right. We're gonna get on that too. Okay, so let's keep it moving. That was on David Botta now. David Botta. What y'all got?
Oh, you talking about Obata?
No, not Obata. Botta. The tackle.
If it's a tackle for Bada,
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep defensive tackle because
Nah,
Oh no.
we could pass on him.
Yeah, I would pass on him too. Khalid Hudson.
Ooh,
I'm a yes.
I'm a
on that.
no. I'm a no.
I'm going to say like it's not on neutral, but I'm gonna say it depends on the price that we can get them for. Yes, if we can get them for a decent low price, yes. If we can't get them for a decent low price, if we can't get them like low numbers, so we can this can help the cap, then absolutely not. If you want some real money, then no.
Okay. What you got, Vito, on Khalid Hudson? No. All right.
let me extend my answer. If the price is right, I'm completely fine with it because I like Hudson, but
Yeah.
it just depends on the price. It really depends on the price. Anything over 5 million, anything over 3 to 4 million a year, I would say no.
Anything over 3, yeah, no, that's an absolute no to me. Anything over 3.
Anything over 3, he got another contract set of years to go through.
Okay. Tyler Larson. I'm a yes on Larson.
Yes.
I'm a yes on Larson. He only gave up 3 sacks last year and 500 and something sacks, almost 600 snaps. Almost 600 snaps. He only gave up three sacks last year on a line that was pretty bad. So I'm a yes on Larson.
No, it wasn't pretty bad. It was horrid. That line, I'm still having nightmares as we speak. That's why I'm up right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what is Larson's size? Like, what is his attribute size, like weight and height?
Larson is
Larson
306, 6'8", 306.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's a big dude.
I'm gonna keep Larson.
Yeah,
just because of the size. I don't feel like he was that much of a liability. You know what I mean? And we probably can get him at a decent rate. You know what I'm saying? But that's a big boy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a liability. So
$8 million. If he's going to be your star, well, he's not going to be your starter because you got
right
ready. So yeah, I clearly $3 to $4 million. Ooh, stay your ass.
Yeah. David Mayo. I'm a yes on David Mayo.
Like I did a few years ago, player personnel. I for improve to make the team again. I'm not sure if I'm signing them to a long-term John because you have Luvu. The reason why Luvu is that now you're going to command other guys to want to play with you. Like Luvu,
I like Luvu.
League a lot this season by a lot of really good players. The other players are talking about him. He was literally like, bro, this year with Carolina, anybody that did the commentating for the game that didn't commentate their games, like were like blown away. It was like, bro, I don't even care about the rest of the game. I just want to be here and watch him play.
Yeah.
There's several commentators like during games that was like, he's worth the price of admission. And I was like, I don't even know how Carolina let this go. I'm sorry. You can't even explain.
Vito, question for you, Vito. How do you feel about Jamin Davis's move to the outside?
He should have been there from the beginning. He was never an inside linebacker.
Yeah, he played pretty good on the outside. I'm gonna be honest.
He was a weak side linebacker in college where he
That's where he had a lot of picks. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand us playing players in positions that they never played in. That just never makes sense to me. I'm sorry. If you're good, be good. Yeah. Good at. I don't remember I said a few years ago when we had Josh Norman. If Josh Norman is getting $75 million a year, Josh Norman has to play every part of cornerback on the field for me. You don't get a chance to pick where you going at, and I'm gonna put my guy who was shutting down Dez Bryant, which was Brashad Breeland. He was shutting Dez Bryant down the year before that on that right side. You stuck him on the left side, and he got his ass whooped. That's not fair for the younger player to take on the bigger challenge, and the guy getting the most money gets to take a break. I don't understand that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes on Mayo too because he played special teams. And when he played at linebacker, I mean, I challenge anybody who's online. Shout out to everybody that's online too, man. Anybody listening on Facebook, Twitter, if you listening on Instagram, wherever you listening at, man, we on all platforms, man. Shout out to because we do got some listeners. Straight up, I'm gonna shout out all the listeners out there, man. We doing real good right now. You know what I mean? So shout out to all
That's
the
what's up,
listeners out
man.
there. Yeah.
Shout out
Shout
to
out.
y'all, man, tuning in at this late
Appreciate
hour. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Shout out to all the
Yeah.
listeners out there. If y'all listening in, just go back and look at Mayo, man. Mayo, for me, when he did get his opportunities at linebacker, I was highly impressed at what I saw. So for me, that's
I'm not gonna deny that I was highly impressed, but like we were saying with Obata, the age.
right.
It's
Mayo,
the age for me.
let me see. Mayo is 30 years old. He's 30 even. 30 years old.
He'll be 31 during the season, I bet.
Yeah.
But it's just the age for me.
31 is fine. For 31 is fine. You need locker room guys and somebody. I honestly believe that you need some of these guys that were 4 and 13.
I agree.
You need somebody that has the chip on their shoulder that went through that shit.
Yeah.
You can't everybody go that went through that shit. Somebody got to stay here, build up. We were. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like that's a good case. Mayo deserves a second run. I can't do that. They got rid of the people that I felt like should have been cut. That I liked them. Y'all know I liked Antonio Gibson. You gotta go. Yeah. It says a lot when you say that there is a punishment for not completing the task or not doing your job. You know what I'm saying? Short story. Promise is not even that long. My nephew made a mistake. I won't even say which one it was. One of my nephews made a little mistake. You know what I'm saying? And just did some shit he wasn't supposed to do. And he has an NIL deal in high school. You know what I'm saying? I got a clothing company to help him out. They take care of him and stuff like that. They made a mistake. Cool. All right. He didn't want to take accountability for his mistake. As his uncle, he thought that I was going to let this go. I called the NIL people. I said, cut it.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm treating y'all like y'all were Sprite or Nike. Y'all are a black company. We have to start treating our companies the same way. If Ja Morant had a deal with you and he was out here doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, he's going to be cut from his deal, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, you might not have to cut my nephew, but you need to make him go through the changes and go through these things. Mm-hmm. There's a cause and effect to everything.
All right, we got a question. Should have used AG like which Antonio Gibson like AJB this year. So AJB, who's AJB, man? Prince William, who's AJB?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Okay, AJ Brown. Okay, AJ Brown.
Gibson is a big body. He did play wide receiver in college. I get it. But to use him as a full-time wide receiver, interesting. I wouldn't do it. He fumbles too damn much.
He fumbles a lot.
Samuel like that, but I wouldn't.
He fumbles too damn much. My brother, I wouldn't do it. I would put my chips on that table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he do fumble a lot.
That's like trying to hit the yo. That's hard than the motherfucker.
Yeah. He do. I like. Don't get it twisted. I like Antonio Gibson, and he didn't get a lot of money from New England Patriots. I personally would have signed him for that money that we got. Now, do I think Austin Eckler is an upgrade? Potentially. I do think Austin Eckler is an upgrade. You know what I mean?
How much does Eckler fumble like he fumbled?
No.
That's already an upgrade.
No, a big upgrade. But I'm going to say this. Antonio Gibson is the bigger body in the NFC East. And so if we remember, we just had J.D. McKissick, who was amazing. I'm a big J.D. McKissick fan. But he was smaller and he did not last.
How many years did we sign him to? 3 years?
Come from the AFC West.
Did we sign him for 3 years, right?
Who, J.D. McKissick?
No, Eckler.
We signed him for two. For two? Yeah.
What we signed Porter's for? Porter's about Eckler size, ain't he?
No.
Nah. Porter's
Eckler
bigger than
a
Eckler.
little bit bigger
Yeah,
than
Porter's bigger.
he's a little bit taller and maybe not bigger body wise, but he's a little bit bigger than Darren Sproles. A little bit taller, a little bit bigger than Darren Sproles. We about that size. Here's the thing. Just like Darren Sproles is tough, Austin Eckler is tough. Y'all have seen those games we played the Chargers. Austin Eckler ain't never get put out none of them games playing against the NFC East. In any of those games that he's played against us. That's not where he gets injured at. And the Super Bowl champions reign in the division that he played in. He was fine. We've seen him play in that division.
Prince, let me stop you, Vito. Prince Williams said Curtis Samuel, row 2. Please elaborate. I don't know what you mean. Does he say is Curtis Samuel
Row
a number
2.
2?
Wide receiver.
Is he a number 2? Is Curtis Samuel number 2 to y'all?
Facts.
Yeah.
He's a number 2. It's that's not the argument. We got 2 number 2s though.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I'm not gonna hold y'all. Everybody's gonna hate me. They are. Y'all gonna hate me. I don't know if McLaurin's a number 1 anymore.
I disagree. I
don't know. We can't say that. The boy scraped up 1,000 yards every season he's played.
Yeah.
Want me to name you a number 2 receiver that did that too? Almost his whole career?
Who?
No, what I'm saying is it's not just 1,000. He barely cracked 1,000 this year, but before that it was like what?
We got to remember too. He started this season off. McLaurin started this season off with a toe injury that he got in the last game or the second to last game in preseason. He started this season off with a really ugly toe injury. I remember that.
Because you want the field,
you know,
that.
I agree with you. I agree.
And he wasn't getting thrown to like that either.
They said, wow. I mean, I agree. But he did start, for me, McLaurin started the season off with the toe injury. So I give him a little bit of leeway for even going out there because most players would not have even went out there at all. So I'm just going to give him a little bit of credit for that.
Feel like Warriors. There's a bunch of them that go out there and they be hurt on a lot of times.
But the toe is different at receiver.
Steve Smith did this in Carolina, bro. You're not gonna say this to me, bro, because I got stuff for this, bro. Steve Smith, my height. He is 5'8.5", 5'9".
He said he had 1,000 yards with Kyle Allen. Y'all gotta give him some credit.
Kyle Allen wasn't the starter the whole year.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, Alex Smith came in there too.
He had a gumbo powder quarterback that year. They got him that 1,000 plus. So
when those were the years that McLaurin was eating, who was our number 2? Look how long it's taking y'all.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Oh no,
it wasn't. We had who was the number 2 over there? It was really the boy, the 6'5" boy that we used to like.
Talking about Sims?
Out of Alabama?
Sims.
Sims didn't. It wasn't Sims. Oh, it was the other Sims.
Steve Sims?
Steven Sims.
He wasn't the number 2, but he was something like him. What was that guy with the ponytail? Like Isaiah something or something like
Hers. You talking about hers?
No, not
Isaiah. I know you talking about Isaiah. I forgot his name. Yeah.
We had the white guy.
We had Quinn. What was his name? He plays for the Defenders now.
Humphreys.
Yeah, he plays for the Defenders. He just got signed by the Defenders. Quinn.
Y'all talking about Humphreys? We had Humphreys. Remember?
Just saying that we were trying to figure it out. So don't get me wrong. McLaurin is a number 1 receiver in the league. I'm saying that, and that's what I was trying to finish. This draft right now, when y'all get a chance, and anybody that's watching the show, I point y'all to really good stuff. Go look up Steve Smith's review of the wide receivers coming out in the combine. He is the reason what gave me the sense that Terry is not going to be a number 1 after this season if we pick one of these guys. There are 9, count them, 9 guys in the draft that are 6'4" and above. That are going to
I do think we need a big receiver
in the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 that's going to be in the first round.
And
17.
Let me stop you, Vito, for 1 second. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut y'all off. This is why we're going to jump in. We're going to get back to the free agency, but this is why, for me, I'm an advocate for what Vito just said. I just want to put this point while we on it. This is why I am an advocate for Marvin Harrison Jr. because for me, I've watched Dan Quinn work with Julio Jones in a certain type of way, and that worked in Dan Quinn's system. So for me, I wouldn't mind Marvin Harrison Jr. because I know Dan Quinn can potentially get the most out of him because he moved up whatever amount of spots to get Julio Jones, and that is one of the only picks that Dan Quinn acted for me that worked out for Dan Quinn. So that's that's for me. While if I had to pick, I would have picked Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not the one picking, though. I'm not sure that they're going to do that. So
that's my
the
argument
best,
right
and he
there.
said the best player available.
That,
I don't see
that,
anybody in the draft that's better than Marvin Harrison Jr. More polished, ready to me. Other than maybe that cornerback that's coming out for Notre Dame, I like him too. But other than the guy, I no. The guy who really the only guy that really locked him down a little bit, but he did get hurt in that game. That guy for Notre Dame, the cornerback for Notre Dame, is really good. But other than him, I don't see anybody that's as polished as Marvin Harrison Jr. So that's if I had to pick, that's who I would get.
Did you watch tape, bro?
Huh?
Did you watch Neighbors tape?
Yes.
Dog.
I like Neighbors.
Dog.
No, I like Neighbors. I like Neighbors. I like Neighbors.
Dog.
I just think that Marvin Harrison Jr. route running, especially in this intermediate stuff, for me.
Are you sure? Go.
Yeah. For me, I would take Harrison Jr. I just feel like he just does some things. Sideline to sideline catches as well. What he does on the sideline is really, really unique too.
Write down for me so that when we finish, you go to Steve Smith Jones and look up his take on the kids in the draft. He says Marvin Harrison Jr. too for the number one. But listen to what he says about Neighbors. I promise you. Like, he even said, because I was watching it too, bro. They got a different separation between them two. Marvin Harrison is good at running his routes. He don't get the same separation that Neighbors do, bro. And I thought that Neighbors was tall. Neighbors is the same height as McLaurin, but he is these guys his routes by they're bro. He's beating them in like 3 to 4 inches of space. It's like small spaces that he's winning in battles that are amazing. See some of these Jones beat they 7-yard routes.
Yeah, he's right. He said Mike Smith was coaching for Julio Jones when they got Julio Jones. I agree. You're right. But I still saw him Dan Quinn get the most out of him. Yeah. You're right. Mike Smith did draft him, but I saw Dan Quinn get the most out of him.
Mm-hmm. But that's my gripe. That was my gripe with keeping Samuels. Because see, when you go to deal him, who knows? Somebody might want to pick with that guy. Why waste one of your picks when you can just let him walk off the market if you're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're going to draft him, don't even waste your time or energy trying to get draft or get him somewhere. Nah, just let him go on the market. Let him do him. If you're going to get this guy and you know that for sure, just do that. Don't even waste your time with Samuels.
Right. This is why I would say you keep Samuels. Because if you get a rookie quarterback, let's say you get one in the second round, third round. If you get a rookie quarterback and you get Marvin Harrison Jr., you keep Samuels because you're only giving your young guy as many weapons as possible, and your young quarterback not gonna cost you no money for 3-4 years.
Right.
Well,
you give Marvin Harrison that quarterback a chance to build. You still have Curtis Samuels on the roster. You got McLaurin on the roster. You got Dotson and De'Ami Brown, who are now your rotating 3s and 4s. You still have 2 guys behind that. You got Tinsley, you got Mill, and you got somebody else that's behind him. Who
we saw the guy I wanted back from UCLA, the kick returner, Allen.
Allen?
Yeah, Kuzma, whatever his name is, Kamal something.
Okay.
Kuzma.
You have guys that you want to put in specific places now. Now you can see what you're going to get out of De'Ami Brown. You can have De'Ami and Dotson challenge one another. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's no competition at practice. You know what I'm saying? When we be looking at the roster, there's clear number 1, and then there's number 2. To me, McLaurin and Samuels, based on production over the last 2 years, I would definitely say that McLaurin's the number 1. But Samuels could argue that his production is just as high because he gets more the targets. So this year alone, I would say his argument could definitely be that, and that may not be why we don't sign him, because he probably could ask for a little bit more money than we would have offered him at first, because his targets to catches were way better than McLaurin's this year.
McLaurin had a lot of targets this year. I think he had
Yeah, they had a whole
140.
lot of targets.
Yeah, he had a whole lot of targets.
And you know what I'm saying, not as many catches. That's not all his fault because some of them passes were not catchable.
Right.
And other things were the case. You know what I'm saying? And again,
Right.
just what you said, if the enemy sold out the season in some way, you know what I'm saying, then we don't the new coaching staff don't really know what they have.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's move it back. Let's move it on. We got a couple more players that I know y'all want to get to with whether to sign or release. We on Joey Sly. Now we on Joey Sly. Joey Sly is the next free agent that's on the board. I say sign him anyway. I mean, I don't know if you sign him. You did sign a kicker, but
we always sign McManus, so I would say cut him. I would say don't sign him. I mean,
No.
I like Joey Sly. I don't think that we should have, unless we're gonna do kicking competition, but
not only kicking competition. What if let's just think about this? What if McManus's field goal percentage is higher than Sly's? Then wouldn't it be nice to be able to keep Sly as your kickoff guy since nobody's gonna run kicks back and use McManus for the kickers?
Yeah, but that's an extra roster spot.
And would Sly accept that role is the question too.
It's a lot of people that do that though. That used to do that.
I agree.
I don't know if that's the thing now because you do need those spots now, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, those spots are very important now.
Yeah, that's an extra roster spot. That's not gonna happen.
Nah, Sly's not gonna come back because I don't see having. I can see bringing in an undrafted kicker or something like that. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
I don't. Now that's something that's strange to me. I don't know how coaching staff changes and you let go a kicker. Like what the fuck does the kicker do? The kicker has nothing to do with nobody's game plan.
Right. Yeah.
Not if he was serviceable the year before. I don't see why that you know what I'm saying, why that changes unless he just wanted more money and McManus got less and they were similar in percentages or something like that. But Jacksonville and here are two different locations. That's two different weathers.
Right. And that's what my thing is too, is like, yeah, like you saying, how did that come about? What happened to where Sly had to be or where they had to go another route with Sly?
I'm looking at his percentage right now. He doesn't have a bad percentage. Like
or McManus.
Sly.
Yeah, he don't. I know.
Sly
Yeah,
percentage is not bad at all. I'm looking at it right now. I think for his career, I'm looking at 78 goals on his career. He's attempted 37 of them, made 34. 82.3% on the career. Longest one was 61 yards.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that was last year.
Decent numbers.
What was his percentage, Big Time?
Over his career.
Nah, over his career.
Over his career is 82.3. Last year was 79.2. His highest year was 2021. Who's 3TM? I don't even think he was in the league in 2021.
Yeah, remember we signed him like midway through the which after blew it after I'll never forget that after blew it.
Yeah, well blew it. Yeah.
McManus is 81.4%. His longest kick is 61%.
61 yards, you mean?
Yeah, I mean 61 yards.
I mean they the same basically. So
I'm taking these small little things, bro, and I'm using it to what our conversation started as when we was going with this Josh Harris thing. Is the money that important that we're making these small little changes because it's about the money?
Right.
Because I don't see that Sly go. I'm sorry. He's more of a fan favorite than something that goes against the team right now.
Yeah. And then my thing is Sly, like you just said, Sly's kind of automatic from 0 to 49, whatever it is. Sly's solid. It ain't like
61, he 61 as we see.
Yeah, he's solid.
It was up to, hold on, let me go back. So 2020, Carolina longest was 56. 2021 longest was 56. 2022, 58 was the longest. That was here. 2019 in Carolina, 54 was the longest, and 61 was the longest. So yeah, you could say from 50 anywhere. If it's 56 to 61, you can say he got a good chance to hit that.
He got a chance to hit it. Yeah. So I just don't understand that one. personally. I don't. I think DC is not an easy place to kick either.
No, it's
So
not.
yeah,
It's
so
the swamp. It's the valley. It's swoop down there. You
yeah,
know what I'm
so
saying? If y'all from DC or the outside area, supporting cats murder up
so
team, you know how
that's
DC is.
and that's
You
my
know.
thing. You bringing a kicker from Florida, where the weather's a little bit better. Here, I just think you better be right.
I can't say it's a little bit better.
So if
Florida get a little
they
wild
get
with
them
it too,
storms and
but
all of that and shit. But
um,
the one thing McManus does well is extra points. The most extra points he's missed in his entire career is 3. Every other year he's pretty much
That's a lot though for
Hold
one
on.
season.
But if you go to Sly misses extra points or get them Jones blocked a lot. We was getting a lot of kicks blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That could have been because of our line too. I'm not gonna put that all on Sly. Our line was horrible, but our line isn't right there by the ball though. They got to push you back and get some push and all that. And the ball was not coming out as high. You know what I'm saying? The ball used to come out low with Sly. So again, if someone was paying attention and used them analyzation and all that, maybe that's something that they saw. But these two kickers seem like they're around the same percentage type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But Sly was missing extra points. And this guy,
he missed one against Dallas. He
don't miss extra points like that.
Got you.
Pretty accurate at extra points from what I'm looking at.
All right, so no, I was gonna say, so we go move on to Jamison Crowder. I say keep him.
No. That was
I'm thinking, and I'm gonna say no.
That was Rivera and them finding. Remember that was because Snyder wasn't picking nobody. That was just something. That was something barely able to afford it, or something we just could use from being able to afford it.
But for me, we don't have a returner. That guy played well at returner when he had his opportunities. You know what I mean? I think he played well.
Yeah, but he only took one back to the house.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. He didn't get a whole season to do it either. He didn't have a training camp. I like Crowder, so I'm always going to advocate for Crowder. He's only 30 years old. As crazy as it might sound, he's only 30 years old.
We got a gunner right now back there, Allen, Cashmere Allen.
He got to get the minimum. He got to get the veteran minimum though, bro.
Right.
So you could get a younger. Imagine, like I said, this is the deepest receiving draft in years, bro. It's so many receivers, bro, that somebody's going to look up and probably get a future Hall of Famer in the 4th round. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like it's that deep.
Yeah, like Brendan Wright might be around in there,
bro.
Somewhere.
Hey, my bad to add this. Steve Smith out his mouth, and this is a dog receiver, bro. My man said that Brendan Rice, and he said everybody say Jerry Rice for me because that's how you gonna associate with him the way they do with Marvin Harrison's son. He said Jerry Rice, son, out of every receiver in this draft, man, you might. He said, man, he said, man, you know what my comp is like? The dude said Debo Samuels. He said, nah, bro. He said, man, give me a running back. He is a running back and he said he's Isaiah Pachenko of route running.
Okay.
He said that he run his route so hard, bro, that he's gonna hurt somebody just running his route.
I agree with you. I saw a lot of good things out of him.
I got him in a couple of my mock drafts, so that's how I know about him. And went to look at his film. I'm like, oh, shorty, a dog. And
I
they
like
sleeping on him.
No, I like him. You know why I'm saying this, bro? Because you watched the same receiver that I watched when we grew up. That is how his father ran routes.
Right. He does. He look exactly like his father running routes. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. And he does.
If he goes in the 1st round, it just be because of the lineage. And I honestly don't want him to go to San Francisco, but I can see San Francisco taking him with a pick.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it on moving. We got Brian Pringle.
No,
yeah.
Nah, because he didn't help us out in the return game that much.
Nope.
You can't.
I think Tinsley would have did a better job.
Yes. I bring Pringle back. But no, because he came with my boy. No, I'm gonna say no because he came with Pringle came with Bieniemy, or Tinsley came with.
Yeah, he came.
Pringle came with
Bieniemy.
Yeah,
Tinsley came from Penn State last year.
Yeah, nah.
He was playing. He was backing up Jahan Dotson the year before, and then took over when Dotson left.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody out there online, man. Them numbers going up, man. That thing looking real good tonight, man. Shout out to everybody out there.
Shout out to everybody listening to us, man. We've been on live right now for an hour and 9 minutes, man. Shout out to y'all tuning in, man. Next show, DC.
Yes, indeed. So y'all say no to Brian Pringle. I'm a no on that one too. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna
Okay.
slime him out right there. He gotta go.
All right. So Alex Armah, he was the only fullback on the roster last year.
I'm keeping Alex. I like Alex. I like Alex.
I
And
like Alex
so
too.
I'm gonna say no because if y'all look at Cliff Kingsbury's system, he doesn't use a fullback.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
agree with that part.
guy under the basket type of jump.
Well,
But is
well,
that
we
going to work in the
hey,
NFC East though?
hold on. Did we find out that Cliff Kingsbury won't be preparing how the team gonna be running plays and all that for the week and all that? So
No.
I'm keeping Alex.
He's still the play caller. He's just not setting up the passing game.
That
Mm.
means he ain't setting up the running game either, because Alex Lynn doing the running game, right?
Alex Lynn is the running game coach. I mean, is the running back coach.
Oh, he's the running back coach. He's not the running
Yeah,
game
he's a running back
coordinator.
coach.
They say
Yeah.
I think his title is running game coordinator too. I think that was the original. Now, whether they changed it over the last couple
He's
weeks or
an
so,
assistant as well.
when
Leonard's
he
an assistant as
originally
well, ain't
came, they say he's the running game coordinator. I know that for a fact. When he originally came, that was his title.
All right, even if he's the running game coordinator, Kingsbury is still calling the plays. I'm just saying the
Right,
play,
I agree.
even in USC, even in Arizona, he's not a fullback. You know what I'm saying? Demanded guy. If he was, I would keep Amrod because again, I felt like we should have got Derrick Henry. I don't know where in the world you don't spend that money on
Hey, bruh.
Hey,
Hey,
all
bruh.
he needed was a quarterback. I would have kept saying,
Speaking the truth, bruh.
Yeah. That Derrick Henry is Redskin football. If you know about Redskin
He's Redskin
football, he
football,
is
but let's
Redskin
be
football.
honest. Let's be honest. Harris ain't bringing no dog in here like that. You
Right.
already know what type of complications come with a dog like Henry. Super Bowl. That's all we're gonna be talking about around here.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Henry is dominant, and so I'm with you, Vito.
without having to build around him because Tennessee should have did the same thing. And Tennessee had a running game for a while to back him up. Never had a quarterback, bro. Tannehill didn't ever work out. And then now that they just got Will Levis and maybe deciding that might be where they're going at, they don't even know what they want to do. And Derrick Henry needs a quarterback. You can't just put it all on a running back today when the game is. Mind you, so many teams are running their schemes like the next team.
Right.
It's
Right.
very teams with their own identity. And I thought that Vrabel was going to continue that by being a hard nose, like similar to the New England Patriots, just running down their throats. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make them. We're gonna play hard defense. We're gonna get our run on, and we're gonna make this work. And they just always tried to find a way to throw the ball. And to me, that's not a winning formula when your best player is your running back, who's not getting hurt. He ain't missing games. He's there. And then when they got rid of Jonnu Smith, I knew it was over them because you don't have nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that was Armar. So Sadiq Charles. I'm gonna know on that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna know on that one. Yeah. Terrell Burgess. Oh, you said yes on a point? You said yeah on Sadiq Charles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your I mean, he's young. He's 24 years old. So you got a point there. What's your logic?
I mean, we can't get rid of the whole offensive line unless we're going to have to replace everybody, like literally everybody. So him coming as a backup, somebody that got starting, he started a couple games. He's going to turn into eventually a veteran. It's not like any of those problems that he have is unfixable because he like you said, like 24, right? Something
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
24. He's 24 years old. Yeah. I mean, you keeping Tyler Larson. I mean, at least I was a yes on Larson. If I'm gonna keep anybody, I would keep Larson.
Larson and Charles, two people to keep it.
You got Cosme. You keeping Cosme too?
Yeah, but I'm saying they're backups. So Sadiq Charles and Tyler Larson will be two decent backups.
Ain't Wiley still on the roster?
Wiley is. Hold on, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's still on the roster. So
you need to cut him
out your offensive coordinator now, and I still would pick a tackle. You know what I'm saying? I would still get a tackle. That way, even if Wiley doesn't work out, you have somebody to put in. You know what I'm saying? In replacing him, or you could move Cosme back to guard.
No, yeah, Wiley. Yeah, he's still on the roster. Yes, he is.
Yeah, you can move Wiley back to guard. Not saying switch him with Cosme, but I'm just saying if you need him as a sub, you can move him to guard if there's any injury, especially if you get a tackle that's good.
Yeah, y'all were correct. Adam Lynn is the running game coordinator / running backs coach.
Yeah, see, that's why I say when he came here now, if they switched
Yeah.
it, I would have known. But he was the running game coordinator.
But that's why I said, even in San Diego, I don't remember them having a fullback like that. Like Eckler didn't. Well, yeah, sometimes, but not really.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it was mainly like a tight end or something. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't like no full blown. You know, this is the fullback. It was a tight end.
All
Yeah.
right. So let's keep it moving. Which out there? Which I got on Terrell Burgess?
No.
I'm a no on that.
I don't know.
I'm a no on that.
All right, moving right along. Jabril Cox.
No.
I'm a no on that.
Yes.
Now I think maybe because you got to remember you got a defensive coach. I think that your defensive coach has to he got to see some of these guys on the field. If
That's
not,
true.
a whole bunch of Cowboys that's getting released come over and shit like that. I think some of these guys could actually ball, bro. If y'all remember when we had Sweat and Young, and those guys were subbing in, the Abadas, the Two Hills, and everybody was subbing in, we got a lot more production from those backup guys. We're gonna need depth. You know what I'm saying? So get everybody, like you said, you got to replace them with somebody else. And even replacing with somebody else, who is it that you're replacing them with?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So what you got on it? You said yes on Jabril Cox?
Yeah, I still keep Cox.
Okay.
Yeah, I say yes too.
All right, tight end Brandon Dillon. We didn't even see much of him, so I don't know.
I don't know enough about
Rodgers.
I'm gonna say no.
On the
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I seen some way better talent in the draft. Some bigger, busted guys are gonna get in there, not afraid to get to the pad level, block, get in the trenches, and get on the outside of the hash and catch some passes
Chris Cooley
and go head up. So
like
I'm a no on him.
Draft, and I don't think he's going to get picked in the first round. So if you want Chris Cooley too, Dan Hoker is in the draft, and Dan Hoker is nice. His hands is for sure. He's a good route runner. He blocked. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you got Ertz, I don't think it's going to have to be somebody that falls down to the third or the fourth or something like that. Not going to be an immediate need with having Zach Ertz. Just because Zach Ertz knows your offense, even if he's not a blazer and all of that, you're going to use him for safety. If things break down and you're not able to hit the deep read or hit McLaurin, you'll be able to get the ball to Ertz. Or if you can't get it to Eckler out the backfield, Ertz should be able to find a little hole or something like that. You're using him like a Jay Novacek or something like that.
Okay. Now these next three is about to get spicy, y'all.
Hold on before you go on.
Okay.
So speaking about the tight end position, you got some guys out there like Jared Wiley, like I said, Benson Knott, what's the guy? The guy out of Florida, he's pretty decent. And everybody knows Brock Bowers, but ain't nobody talking about Brock Bowers now because they went out and got Zach Ertz.
Okay.
Yeah, as we move on.
All right, so it's about to get spicy, y'all. It's about to get spicy now. These next three here. All right, let's start it. Let's just get it going. Cameron Curl.
Yes.
Yes.
He gonna cost you some money now.
Okay.
Who you gonna replace him with?
Yeah, we one of the better options. So of course he's gonna cost you some money.
He's 24 years old.
Yes.
So he's young.
And one of your best players on the team last year.
Yeah. What you got, big son?
I'm on the fence.
I'm on the fence too. I say
what?
I say because he's young like this, he's 24. So I say sign him because of his age, if nothing else. He can give you a lot of years. And so I'm on the side of sign him. But
here's the question I had before the money part, age part. Do you see him at his peak, or do you see him potentially still being able to grow?
That's the thing. I think he may be at his peak. That's why I'm saying that. But that's why I say he's still 24. So you got a new coordinator.
Hey,
so a new daughter.
I wouldn't say.
No, listen though. Dan Quinn has been able to help secondary players throughout his career. If Cam Curl is this good without a Dan Quinn, how much better can he get with one?
Well, Dan Quinn hasn't done that, but the guy who's the defensive coordinator, he has. He has. Dan
But you
Quinn's
made
defense in Atlanta wasn't good. His defenses in Atlanta wasn't good. As a coordinator, you're right. He's done that as a coordinator, but as a head coach, no,
Well,
he hasn't.
I'm saying throughout his career, bro. Like you
Yeah,
can't just take away what he did because he didn't
yeah.
do it every single time. He did. He had Richard Sherman,
As a
Browning.
court, but he was a
He had
coordinator.
regardless of what he had, when he had it, you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying that he's been able to help them
Right,
secondaries
right. Last year
consistently.
he had Blaine. Blaine had 9 interceptions, 5 return for touchdowns, which is an NFL record.
Exactly.
So Blaine was really good with the Cowboys last year in absence of the guy that got hurt, their main corner that
Diggs
got
was
hurt.
good.
Diggs,
Diggs was
yeah,
good the
in
year
absence of
before.
Diggs, yeah.
And
So
Diggs was good the year before. So you gotta say that he's been able to do that
And
over and
and
over.
these guys did these things under Quinn.
that's the thing.
I doubt if Bland does that next year. What's the boy name? We were just talking about Richard Sherman. He didn't do that when he was with San Francisco.
Nah.
He had good years in San Francisco. He didn't
He
have
had
bad. They
good
was in
years.
Super.
He
It
had
was
good
Super
years,
Bowl.
but he didn't have Dan Quinn years
No,
in
no,
San Francisco.
no.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
My bad. I stepped away for a second. I second that point. Thank you, Leo, because I was getting ready. I wanted them to finish so bad because I was getting ready to scream that part. Like, have y'all seen what the guys have done in the secondary under
Yeah.
that Quinn defense, even in Atlanta?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm not
no,
denying
not
that.
in Atlanta.
I know what they done.
Atlanta's defenses were not good.
Their
They were middle of the pack.
their linebackers were decent. They didn't have no pass rush. Their secondary was all right, bro. Not every year.
Yeah.
Secondary was good for what they had. Neil, that's what we were talking about with Neil. Neil was good in that defense.
Yeah.
That was like one of their better players at that
I
time.
agree.
They didn't have better cornerbacks until after that because they was working on the offensive side. That's how they got to the Super Bowl with all that offense.
They had number 1 offense in the league. The year they went to the Super Bowl, they had number 1 offense.
I'll say this. I'm on the fence about Curl.
And you know what I be trying to do?
3-year deal, I'll take
I be
him.
trying
Long
to
term,
the
no.
other way.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. That's what I would do as well.
So wait a minute, real quick, guys. Who do you sign long term? Because we've given money to Jonathan Allen, and he's been here for 8 years, and he's got probably about 3, maybe 4 more years on his deal, maybe 3 years or something like that on his deal. So you're talking about a possible 2 more years. So you're talking about a 10-year vet on your team. How many Pro Bowls has he gotten in 10 years for the $100+ million that you've possibly spent?
Jonathan Allen, he's been in the Pro Bowl about maybe 4 times, about 3 or 4 times. He's been in the Pro Bowl about 3 or 4 times. Hold on, let me be exact though, but I believe about 3 or 4 times. Go ahead, say what you gonna say, Big Son, while I look that up.
Jonathan Allen started his career a little different than Curls, if you ask me.
2 times. He's been in the Pro Bowls twice. 2021 and 2022.
2 times in 8 years. All right.
Did he play 4 seasons in them 8 years though?
You said did he what? Full season?
Play 4 seasons.
Jonathan Allen been there. He'll take a game or 2 off, maybe every once in a while, but Jonathan Allen been pretty serviceable.
Okay. That's just me though. In the day and time that we living in, and the money factor that we talking about.
He hasn't played 8 years though. Let me correct that. He hasn't played 8 years. He was his first year was 2017. This is going into the 2024 season, so this is 6 years.
This is 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years. 2017 was his first season. So 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 7. It'll be 7 years this year.
7.
Would be 7. Yeah, this year would be 7.
All right, so 2 Pro Bowls in 7 years. You're still missing 5 years.
No, it's not 5. It's this year itself would be 7. So it's 6. He's actually played 6 full seasons.
4 years. You're missing 4 years of going to the Pro Bowl for someone.
But why though? Remember why we talked about why we don't go to the Pro Bowl around here?
What are you talking about? Other guys have gone to the Pro Bowl when we haven't had winning seasons. So I'm trying to figure out why he don't go to the Pro Bowl.
No. On the defense?
Our special teams guy and Cameron Curl went to the Pro Bowl, and Tress Way went to the Pro Bowl last year. Not this season, but last year. All right.
But
Where was our defense ranked at last year? Where we were supposed to be, like talking about somebody being in the Pro Bowl and shit like that. You go, that's some individual stat shit.
no, I'm talking about the year before last. Because we know he wasn't making it to no Pro Bowl this past season.
No, but that why Jonathan Allen didn't make it, I don't know, big son. You ask Jonathan Allen, okay? You'd have to say that based on his stats and what.
No, bro. Remember we had this
Cameron
conversation.
Curl has not made the Pro Bowl.
Huh?
Cameron Curl has not made the Pro Bowl.
He won Rookie of the Year. Oh my God, I threw to the wrong person. He won Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he was in the PFF top 10.
Yeah. Did he win defensive rookie? Oh, talking about on the team.
Cameron Curl did win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
In the NFL?
And for D-backs, yeah, for defensive Rookie of the Year. Let me see. Let me double check. If I'm mistaken. Or maybe that was for the team. It might have been for the team.
Yeah,
for
in
me,
2020. They said that on the team.
3 years, man. 3 years. No long-term deal for Curl.
I can't see how y'all can see the team put up $80-90 million on the defensive line, get no success from that. Like, there's no winning season with those guys at that part. And the one guy who played well every year he's been on the team, he's had no bad season since he's been on the team.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying whatever the number. I'm saying for the number. Like, for instance, in the secondary right now, my favorite player is Dirk Forrest. Because Dirk Forrest make them splash plays, boy. Dirk Forrest get in there, you know he in there. And I'm not, this is no knock to Cameron Curl. I don't see the same type of splash play, the same turnovers, the same him just coming up with a turnover, which is, on his own almost. You got to scheme Curl into turnovers and things like that, which is nothing wrong with that because he's not going to be where he's supposed to be. And that's what you want your coach to do. How
you're a free safety because you don't have a free safety. Cameron Curl play both positions his first year, but guess what?
I like Quan Martin too, though. I'm not gonna lie. I like Quan Martin.
Why not keep both?
And I don't see you have to. Earl Thomas.
But I say it depends on the number. It depends on the number you can get Curl for. If you can get him for a decent number, I'm all for it.
You're gonna have Curl. You're gonna have. We said we want to keep Reeves, right? We spoke on that. You want to keep Reeves. Quan Martin, he plays the nickel and he plays the safety. So you got a double.
Yeah, big son. You don't want him covering nobody.
Let me say this.
But Reeves.
Reeves?
More like a fifth or sixth.
Reeves was stomping niggas ass through the motherfucking mud 2 seasons ago, and he was reliable.
But he's only like a fifth or sixth cornerback anyway, because you really want his specialty to be.
You really want him on special teams. Let me say this: if I had to choose between Curl, you want Reeves on special teams.
Yeah, we want Reeves on special teams a couple years ago when he had 4 picks. After having 3 before that, no, we didn't. We let Reeves.
Well, let me say this: if I had to choose between Curl,
if I had to choose
between Curl, let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you, hold up, quick question: if you had to choose between Curl and Fuller, I would choose Curl.
For sure.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's my thing. If you can only keep one, I would say keep Curl, especially because of his age. But you gotta, because I'm gonna be honest with you, that will put you in a weirdo hole, because right now Forbes has not proven to be anything. And this is just no offense to him. He has not proven he can hold down that. He has not proven he can hold down that side. So you may be putting yourself in a weird position, because Forbes has not proven to be anything that can hold down that side.
Forbes started to clean his play up a little bit toward the end of the season.
If y'all
is he a number one corner?
I can't. If I want to be honest, I can't really deal him a whole bad card, because
crazy.
If the coordinator did not get the chance to fully, have it out with his player, if I can say that. You know what I'm saying? Or have the chance to say, hey, look, this is what I want to put together, because everything is being botched around here. So we don't know what he's really capable of.
That's what I was about to say.
Saying? So we really don't know.
That y'all cannot, at least to me, film-wise and everything. If you go back to college, not just draft highlights and nothing like that, because we all went back and looked at Forbes, and especially me and Big Son went and looked at Forbes after he got drafted. And Forbes' tape in college is way better than Deron Bland tape. If those two coaches, Witt and Quinn, can come up with a scheme that puts Forbes in the right situation, he is going to play his butt off. Because let's not forget that during the first part of the season, before the big 200-yard game he gave up, and which wasn't all him, but before he gave up most of that in that game, he was there. He was in spots. He got an interception in his second week to steal the game off. I still stand by this. The same way the offense had its blunders because of certain coaching things, we have to wrap their first season under the jump, and we don't know what to expect from these guys because we don't know what the game plan was. The game plan also affects what we see on the field.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm not saying that those guys can get rid of that season like, oh, that don't just go nowhere, and they shouldn't have no pride to just let that happen to them because you're supposed to have some pride. I'm sorry about that. But at the same time, I also see that Dan Quinn and Ron Rivera's defensive systems are completely different. There's no waiting in Dan Quinn's system. He's not a wait for things to happen type of defensive coach. So, cornerbacks, Ro, have to be able to get the defense. Like, they got to have a leg up on the quarterback. They got to have that extra little second when the quarterback not trying to throw it to make those throws because they off, they off timing. You know what I'm saying? When that time when they can get in the wide receiver face and get them all tracked. Or they in a mixed up defense that they don't know nothing about and they can ruin it.
So let me ask y'all. So y'all comfortable with Forbes being your number one going into the season?
No. I said to sign Kendall Fuller. I definitely. you didn't go after. Because here's my thing. Like I said, I would have re-signed Curtis. I did it in Madden. I re-signed Curtis Samuels and then I traded him. If you're going to get rid of him, you have to get something for him. He's done too much for you.
I agree with that too.
Free.
That's why I said we should have traded him when we traded Chase, because it or Sweat, because it would have made more sense for what you wanted to do in the future.
No, because so.
Oh, speaking of Chase, y'all know we ain't getting no compensatory pick back for him, right?
Why not?
Okay.
Because
I read it in a report like 3 days ago. I meant to drop it in the chat, but we don't get no pick back for Chase. Why? I don't know.
Wow.
I didn't read.
So they basically let him go. They traded him for nothing, basically.
And then they didn't go back and get him.
Okay. Well, let's hold up. We got two more that's really interesting. James Smith-Williams.
No. We keeping Obata, right?
I would keep him over Obata. I keep him over Obata.
Yeah, I said no to Obata. So James Smith-Williams, I'm definitely, I would consider it.
I would keep him over Obata for sure.
Yeah, I would keep him over Obata.
One of them have to leave because I believe they're going to draft the edge rusher. And I believe it might be Darius Robinson. So one of them are going to have to leave because you already got KJ Henry there, who played pretty stellar if you ask me for a rookie last year. And you also have Andre Jones, and you're going to have to see what you got from Andre Jones or just get rid of the guy. You know what I'm saying? So one of them guys going to have to go.
You had helpers, but once Sweat and Young was gone, you had nobody play stellar on the line, in my opinion. Even Payne and Allen weren't like dominant. They were good, but they weren't dominant with those two guys being gone. Which means that if there was no pressure on the edges, they were able to double team them guys in probably different ways. So I won't say
clog up the middle, go on.
And you still got Shaka Tony. You still got Shaka Tony on the roster too.
When? Since when?
He's still on the roster. Yes, he was injured. He's still on the roster. I'm looking at it right now.
Hey, that might be a big plus though, right there.
Nah, the injury he was coming. He was hurt for the entire year, bro. Like
it depends.
He almost got not the same injury as Chase, but the recovery time is similar. So you don't know what you get from that. And again, you play those guys because they under contract like that, but you don't know what you're gonna get from it technically. Also, if you draft a edge rusher, the reason why you pick the dude Armstrong also, bro, is because you want him to teach whoever's coming in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to, like, even though the guys are here that's already on the team, they got to learn all of this shit. So somebody's got to be the example. Somebody's got to do it right. And like I said, that's why you bring in guys that you really believe are like core to what you want to do or your values or what you're trying to sell, because At this point, you need them to come in and set the tone for your practice. You know what I'm saying? How you want routes run. That's why I think Bieniemy brought in the receiver and brought in Wiley or whatever like that. Because you know what I'm saying? It's easier to explain to guys what to do when you got players that have just played in the system, know what to expect, know what to look for, this, that, and the third. But in order for all of these things to glue together, you need those veteran guys to kind of be able to hold the locker room down, but you're gonna have to bring in somebody that's gonna bring in that same excitement or voice like a Chase. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing. Yeah, I think that's missing too. Yeah, I'm with you. It's who. That's the one thing Chase brought, the intangibles that I felt like Chase, not just Chase and Sweat brought,
Well,
was when you playing on the defense with them two guys, you would look stupid not getting pressure. I think they put pressure on Allen and Payne to step their games up, because it's just like, we're gonna look crazy out here if we ain't doing certain things. That's why I don't think it was any coincidence that Jonathan Allen's 2 Pro Bowl seasons was when Chase was next to him, because I just feel like, or Sweat on in the second time.
Yeah, really Sweat.
Yeah, so
You know, the Sweat was there before Chase.
Right. So no, his 2020, he made the Pro Bowl 2020, 2021. So that was after Chase was drafted.
Yeah, that was Chase. Chase won Rookie of the Year that year.
Right.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So I think that they made that defensive line feel like it had to be dominant because everybody knew the talent that was on there. And so
you think that, or you think that Rivera and Del Rio were bitches, or more so Rivera? Because Rivera wasn't a fucking speaker.
No, he wasn't. But look at Chase. But look at Montez Sweat's. I mean, just natural attitude. He ain't having it. And Chase is similar to they're vocal. Chase is vocal too, though. Chase is a vocal guy.
Allen is vocal. Payne not really vocal like that. You know what I'm saying?
Get that based on the coach, though. That's what I'm saying. Like that, I don't think that your defensive line has to have that immediate voice. I'm just talking about the energy. You need the energy.
The energy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the energy. Yeah.
Because
Jonathan Allen is the voice. I'm gonna be real. From what I've seen,
he been the voice.
Yeah, from what I've seen in the just like, you know, from practices and all of that, it looks like Jonathan Allen is like one of the most vocals. He's one of the lead in the pack type of person. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have Deron Payne trying to press him on the sideline. If that's the case, I'm telling you, because you speaking, don't niggas is listening to you.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I'm saying,
I think they different though, bruh. They different.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that they all were trying to find their voice, to be honest, because the coach that they had was a bitch. Jay Gruden actually had more balls than Ron Rivera.
That's true.
I think that fucking Allen and Sweat might have been a little nastier with Gruden because of his nonchalant attitude of not giving a fuck. It's like, and that wasn't a defensive coordinator, but more so like, we gotta have an attitude of our coach.
But I don't think. Hold up, I'm gonna give Del Rio some credit. Del Rio was vocal. He wasn't none of that. Del Rio was
not all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I think it was more so than what we knew.
Yeah,
had we not got that information, the inside information of the Cowboys game, he went on Bieniemy, but keep on going for it in our own territory. Had we not got that inside track, we might have never knew that went down.
Wasn't going on a player. Jay Gruden was going on play. Y'all not getting it, bro. Jay Gruden was going on players. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is good per se, but I'm also saying that coming from the era of football that we know, football is not a soft sport. All right. So
no question.
For John Gruden in Vegas, when he was with the Raiders before he got cut, all of the stuff that they used to say and this and the third, guess what? His players loved him, because they knew that the sport that they was playing is a violent one. We can't have success and be soft at the same time. They don't go together, bro.
Yeah, I don't think our defense was soft though.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that they took on the role of the coaches. If the coach ain't turning around, think about how many bonehead plays that Rivera made that we see. None of the players went to Rivera and cussed him out like how Kelsey did Andy Reid when he wasn't trying to throw him the ball.
Right.
That I'm just saying that the attitude of the coach reflects the players. Jonathan Allen only had an attitude that game against Deron Payne, and in the interviews on the interviews when he was talking about him not wanting to be on a losing team and stuff like that. Outside of that, you wasn't hearing him having an attitude on the field with coaches for doing bonehead stuff or putting us in bad situations and this and that and the third. And I'm not saying that you need that type of dysfunction. I'm saying that you need that type of passion. You know what I'm saying? And I think that and what I was getting to is that I don't think that we need per se the player that is as vocal if you're going to get a rookie, because he's going to be getting coached by a coach that I believe is vocal. I think that just like Andy Reid or like a Belichick, I think Dan Quinn is not a quiet coach. Like not just on the sideline. I'm talking about at practice, in the film room. I think he's a very vocal coach. I think some of the people that we put on the staff that he has now are just as vocal, you know what I'm saying, in certain situations. Like I said, I looked up Brian Johnson with the Eagles. They lost a lot when they lost him. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they can't function and they won't be able to play, but he was a big part of how their system was. And I did not know that because I didn't understand. Like I said, I looked up the definitions of the passing game coordinator and stuff to see what their roles actually were, other than just thinking the name sounds cool. Like these guys are actually what Roby's saying about scheming guys open. These guys are literally making the plays where guys are specifically open. You know what I'm saying? In certain ways, they've structured certain things based on the rules of the game, and they've taken that and did what James Harden did with the extra step and how he did, flipped the Euro and made it a little fancy little way for his own way to get scoring. Like these guys have done things like this with their offensive play calling to change the way that guys are able to get open in their systems. So I'm excited for like what the possibilities are. I just don't get the direction by going in so many different directions.
Right. Okay, so Smith Williams, what did y'all got? Y'all, I say keep. Y'all got some keeps, got some let goes. On Smith Williams.
Yeah, I'm still on let go.
Y'all still don't let go. Everybody let go.
I say keep him.
That's what I said. If depends on the number.
I'm all right with Smith Williams because Smith
definitely depending on the number.
Smith Williams low key gives you an experienced edge rusher, even if he's young or sweat. He still gives you an experienced edge rusher.
He's only 26 too. He's not that old.
He gonna be cheap.
Yeah. Okay, so Casey Toohill.
Yes,
I say keep him.
I'm keeping Casey.
I'm
keeping Casey all day.
I don't like him against the pass rush, but if he's a sub in that part of him, yes.
Right. I don't like him starting.
No,
but I love him off the bench.
I do in first down situations if you're trying to stop the run, like if we're running a 4 or something like that. But I don't like him on every down for a whole drive type of no.
Right.
He need to be your depth.
All right, so you got Curtis Brooks. He's a defensive tackle, 26.
No.
Yeah, I'm a no on that one too.
I seen Curtis a little bit. I seen Curtis, but no.
Yes, especially if you keep it Toohill.
If you keep it Toohill, no, there's no chance we keep him.
Because you're going to draft the edge rusher. I'm telling you.
And then Philip Mathis is still on the roster too at tackle too. So we get to see a little bit out of Mathis in his second year. He's still there. Mathis is still here. So I think we'll get to see exactly what he has, especially with Quinn and this, that, you know what I'm saying? So we get to see a little bit more of him. All right, Dejon Harris, the linebacker.
No.
I'm a no on him too. What y'all think? What you got, Vito?
You said DeJuan Harris? No.
Yeah. That's a no.
Yeah, he didn't do anything to overly last year.
No.
All right, so that's the last of the free agents. You know what I'm saying? That's the last of the free agents. Of what now we know exactly what we keeping, what we letting go. It's not a lot the people that you're going to keep outside of Fuller maybe and Curl, I don't see no big numbers you got to give up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is a 1 million, 2 million, 3 million type of guy.
If you think about everybody you gave up, you already gave up about at least 7 million per person if you average it. So how many people we got today? Like 5 people.
Right.
5 times 7, it's about 35 million. So you got about 30, maybe let's say 30 safely without bothering your cap, about 40 million left.
Well, no, I think you got more than that. It was 147 million.
No,
right now.
you still got to sign Curl. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Right, yeah. After they sign, yeah,
after they
right,
sign, you
yeah.
if we say we got 5 players today at an average of like 7 million, then that's 35 million. You
Well,
got
right now against the cap, we are. Let me see, 4, 8, 10. We only got like maybe 10 against the cap right now.
all 5 of them players ain't going.
I mean, yeah, right. I'm just saying that's why I say right now for the deals that we know have been done. And that's not all 5 players. Like right now, you don't have a number for Lovu, you don't really have a number for him yet. It's people who ain't got numbers yet.
Yeah, Louvu 3 years, 36 or 38.
But they don't know where he's going to go against the cap yet. They haven't negotiated that part yet because it's not even on here at all. Tyler Biaz against the cap, we don't know. It's not on here at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's some players who don't know. The ones you got 3 players where we do know, like it's Doris Armstrong, we know. Nick Allegretti, we know, and actually that's only 2 we know. So that's only really like 8 million against the cap. Both of them are like 4 piece.
And then we
even Eckler, we don't know what it's gonna be against the cap yet.
And then you still got to remember, the rookies. Still got to sign the rookies and all that.
Eckler's is 2.6 million. Then it's like 1.4 signing bonus, and that's for the first year. And then the second year is the back end of it. So his jump, they say his jump is essentially like a 2-year, like a 1-year $5 million deal. If you just roughly put it in numbers. So basically, just say 5 million with his jump.
Oh yeah, okay. We got Eckler up. Eckler's up on the board now, which is 3. He's counting 3.2 against the cap right now. Yeah, so his is up. His is 3.2 against the cap. So you roughly add around a little bit, maybe 11 against the cap right now, and you got 147 to work with. So you're looking at like 139 left against the cap for this year.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller and Curl. Fuller might not cost you a super bag, but he's gonna have to give him about 12 to 15 million for a number 1 cornerback. And let's say between 10 and 12, maybe not all of it guaranteed, but 10 to 12 million a year, depending on how you break that down and signing bonus and shit like that. For Curl, maybe Curl might get like 15. I ain't gonna hold you. At that young age, to probably try to lock in 4 years with a 5th-year option, you might get to 12 the first year, be 11 the first year, but 15 going towards the back end shit. Because I see he's going to probably get between like 60 million. I can see at least 45 to 60 million in the number there. If it's 80, I think that'd be a little high, but I'm not gonna lie, I would really like it for the kid because I really think he's good. And with the potential that he can grow in this Quinn offense, we may be looking at, again, someone like another Earl Thomas. What was my man name? Cam Chancellor. We got when they were with the 49ers, what was it? Eric Reed. Like, it's just the guys that Quinn has coached have been pretty good. Even Neil, like I said, at those years when he was with Atlanta, wasn't bad, you know what I'm saying, outside of the fact that, needed a lot of help in other places. And we have some pieces on deep. Like I said, if you give us 2 edge rushers, even if you don't give us Sweat and Young, but you give us 2 good edge rushers, you know what I'm saying? Outside of Armstrong, let's say Armstrong brings us something and you get 2 guys where you can mix it up and you now got depth and you can switch it up a little bit, this, that, and the third. Then guess what? All right, now you're talking about being able to get, let's say, 12, 15 sacks on the line within the first 6 weeks. You can now leverage looking at your safeties or your backs and stuff like that, being able to step up a little bit more, to jump a little bit more routes and things like that we weren't able to do, you know what I'm saying, because we played a base defense. We were letting offenses do exactly what they wanted to do, and we were trying to figure out what to do to that after that. That's just not the defense that we're going to have.
Yeah.
I
definitely agree. I don't know, though. Again, what we seen Quinn do as a coordinator, we never seen him do as a coach defensively. I'm just hoping that at this point in time in his career, he can figure out how to get it to translate. Because we when he went to Atlanta from Seattle, he was the coach of the Legion of Boom. When he went from Seattle to Atlanta, it didn't translate. His defenses were middle of the pack. With Seattle, he had a number 1 defense every year he was there.
Does anybody Let me see. I'll do it. I don't. Damn, I'm in the middle of a game right now. So can anybody, if they got a chance, can anybody look up what Atlanta's defense was? Not the rankings, but their roster when Dan Quinn got there.
What year was that?
17, 16, 17?
Yeah, I think that was 2015 though. I think that was 2015 when he got no. The Legion of Boom years was what 2012, 2013, 2014, I believe. 2014, 2015 is when he got to Atlanta. But the Legion of Boom still had the number one defenses after he left as well. For I think 2 seasons after he left in a row, they still were number one. So I think
you had Bobby Wagner, you still had good pieces there.
and you had Pete Carroll. So, you know, I mean, you had Pete Carroll. But again, he went to Dallas now and he showed that he could repeat that as a coordinator. You know, he showed that he could repeat that.
That's what I said.
Defensive starters, 2015. Vic Beasley, left end.
He was good.
Rashid Hedgeman, nose tackle. Paul Salahi, he was a beast, right end. Tyson Jackson, left outside linebacker. Paul Borillo, left inside linebacker. Right inside linebacker, Justin Durant. Right outside linebacker, O'Brien Schofield. Left corner, Robert Alford. Right corner, Desmond Trufant.
Trufant was good too.
Starting strong safety, Ricardo Allen and William Moore, free safety. Didn't William Moore play for us?
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I think he did play for us. I believe he did.
I think he played for us for like a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, that was his star lineup on his defense 2015.
That roster's ass.
Yeah. I'm about to say that's trash.
If I ain't mistaken, Beasley was their rookie that year. He wasn't good his first year. Not he wasn't lights out. He was decent, but he wasn't like take over the line league type of.
Yeah, he had 4 sacks, 1 interception.
Yeah.
And started 16 games.
Moore was drafted by the Falcons in 2009.
But he never played with us?
No, he played for Atlanta every year his career from 2009 to 2015.
Who is?
Yeah. But that year was trash. What's the next year, Big? 2016.
All right, let's see. Let me get the thing pulled up here. Next season.
Fans around.
And they went 8-8 that year. They were second in the division.
Mm-hmm.
They went 8-8 that year.
Mm-hmm.
The next year they went 11-5. They were first in the division.
That's a Super Bowl year.
So
No.
I
don't think he went to second. I don't think he went here because but yeah, that might have been because that would have been Kyle Shanahan was with the Browns first or with Atlanta first?
He was with the Browns first.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have been that year. I think it would have been next year or the year after that.
So all right, defense starters. Brooks Reed, left defensive end. Jonathan Babinox, nose tackle. Grady Jarrett.
That was a great pick. He was good.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett.
I don't know
right.
if he's good, but he became good. That was a good pick.
Yeah, he had 3 sacks that year. One fumble recovered. Left outside linebacker Tyson Jackson. They moved Vic Beasley to left inside linebacker. He had 15.5 sacks that season.
That's what you was talking about, Ro. That's when he got
Deion Jones, right inside linebacker.
That was their rookie.
Devondre Campbell, right outside linebacker. Out for that.
This was the Super Bowl season. Sorry, this is the Super Bowl season.
Yeah.
2016.
It was when they had
out for that left corner, Trufant at right, Allen at strong safety, and Keen O'Neal at free safety.
He was the rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deion Jones had 3 interceptions that year.
That was when he drafted him.
Their defense was ranked 27th in the NFL that year. 27th.
Yeah. So that was where numbers do lie. If it was, so I look back at that, Joe, and yes, their defense was horrible, right? But if you remember, Atlanta was the #1 scoring offense that year.
Yeah, they #1. Yeah,
it was scoring so fast that they was getting people trying to come back on them. And like how Kansas City defense wasn't ranked that high at first during the season, but in the playoffs they was ranked like amongst the best of everybody and shit like that. Because during the year, not this year, but during the year that they was 12-4, you know what I'm saying? They had the #1 offense. Their defense was ranked bad, but their defense was good. It was just ranked bad because everybody was spending time getting yards trying to come back.
Right. I mean, Cal was a gym. That was Cal's offense. So Cal was a gym there. You know what I'm saying? Cal was the gym there.
The points against that year, Vito, was 406, 25.4 per game, 27 out of 32. And their offense was #1, 33.8 points, scored 540 points.
Run defense.
Mm-hmm.
What was their run defense?
Let me go back. Let's see. Do they even have that statistic?
Their run defense was 17th in yards, 18th in touchdowns, 5th in attempts. So you were right. A lot of people didn't run the ball a lot, but they still gave up 17th and 18th.
So look, what's crazy, after their Super Bowl season, they went 10-6. They only lost one more game than they lost the year before.
Mm-hmm.
But they was third in division that year.
Their defense was better though. Their defense was 8th. Their defense was top 10.
Their defense was ranked 8th that year. The offense went to 15th though.
Yeah.
People got big headed. They went to that Super Bowl. Motherfucker. Hey, people break up. I hate that shit. Fucking Super Bowl break up. Let me get some more. Instead of doing this shit again, let me get.
Well, they lost Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but that's again. They took people with them. Like people. That's what I'm saying. People just left.
Yeah. They lost Kyle Shanahan. I mean, he was the gym. That joint dropped from 1st to 15th in 1 year when Kyle left. So, and Kyle has always been top 5 in offensive. You know, we know what Kyle do. We definitely here in Washington know what Kyle can put together. He's
to be fair, Atlanta didn't lose him more so than
right.
He got promoted.
Right.
You know? Right. Because the only way Atlanta would have been able to keep him would have been to fire Quinn.
Right. So I mean, we could tell what happened on the offensive side of the ball there, and their defense got better. You know, again, it went to from 27th to 8th in 1 year. So that calls for something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes, calls for celebration on some level.
Hold on. So what's that? What's that? 3 years after he became their coach for them to get a top 10 defense?
Right.
But they got to a Super Bowl in the first 2 years.
Right.
And the defense was in the bottom back end at like 20th or 18th or 20th the first year, and they still had a 17th ranked defense the next year, but they had a #1 offense.
Right.
And like they got 5 attempts on them running the ball, which means that niggas is throwing the ball against them majority of all the game because they got to be losing or they're getting scored on fast and they're trying to keep up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So yes, you do want to have it like the Ravens where you can still have a good defense and a good offense, but you also do need to see what we saw against the Chiefs. You do need to see if you can go in a shootout with somebody.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah, you're going to have, because again,
we had 3, matter of fact, 4 close ones last year that we lost. Both of the Eagles game and both of the Giants game.
Yeah.
Well,
those are too close.
For shootouts, I would say both of the Eagles games and the Broncos game. I wouldn't use the Giants games were disappointments. And we didn't even score enough points for them to be counted as games on our end.
No, we didn't. They wasn't shootouts because especially the second game. I think
I meant not a shootout with the Giants. I'm just saying close games.
Oh, right.
The Eagles was definitely a shootout. Both of them joints.
The Bills, the second Cowboy game were the only blowouts, if I'm not mistaken.
The Bears. I know we like to forget about that joint, but
it was decent all the way until the fourth quarter. It got out of hand.
But no, blowout is blowout. That's 3 blowouts in a year, but everything else was within 8 to 10 points. And that's a possession and not getting something on your end and then giving up giving up a field goal or something like that.
Right, right, right.
With a offense that was, whether it's sabotaged or not, was still making plays enough to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get on the board. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
They just weren't getting any, they were either not getting no defensive help or they were either not getting any offensive help. Just depending on what week it was.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we running on hour 2.5, so we ain't gonna hold people up too late, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too late, but we can do some final thoughts, man, on the first day of free agency, and then of course, we're gonna come back tomorrow and get y'all the second day, and as we go along, we're gonna try to keep up. You know what I mean? We doing real good. Again, the fans, man, we see it keep raising. So you know what I mean? We're gonna keep blazing, baby. So give me some final thoughts. What y'all got just overall on the first day? Get into it, whatever. It's just an open session, baby. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. Open
To
session.
be honest, man, I got to tip my hat and bring in some good offensive linemen in here. Um, I really didn't get to see a whole lot of footage on Nick because Nick just came in, you know. But that boy out of Dallas, I hate to even be saying this, that boy badass. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't out of Dallas no more. He's straight out of DC now because he here. So I like the big splash on that guy. It's just to add to a room. I really want to know what we see. See what it really brings the question up is when you got these two guys you brung in, Leno gone. Wiley's still sitting there, which he should be gone. That just keeps it in the back of my mind as y'all looking at Joe Old or some of these guys that's up here, top rank. We talked about Mob Hurst Jr. and all that. When we talk about the offensive tackle, the BYU, the guy out of BYU, the guy out of Yale, you know what I'm saying? So those things are in the back of my mind. But like I said, I like beefing up on the offense because we've been beefing up on the defensive line for so long and really kind of left them out there on the limb. Another thing I'll say is free agency hasn't been what I expected it to be with the amount of money that we had. I didn't see the splashes that I wanted to see, especially with we were talking about having all of these coaches. Some of these guys been head coaches before. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them. Lynn, I know he was a head coach before. Quinn is back at head coach now. We got some other guys that's been around the league. But with all of that being said, with all these different coaches, I want to know the brand that we building here is just going to take it back to the glory days for me. Because if it's not, it's a waste of time. We've had too many losing seasons around here. Super Bowl the bust for me. I know it's early. Y'all saying the season was just over. Come on, I don't care. Around here, we had too much losing going on
Why
for
they
me
get
to
the fuck
sit
out
back
the way?
and be cool, you know? So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I would rather see this team take it back to the glory days with the moves they make from here on out. I'm going to hold you accountable for the moves you made thus far because, like me and Ro, well, all of us actually, we always talk about how when Quentin came here, the exact words he said, and what were those words he spoke to us, Ro?
He said that we are recalibrating.
Recalibrate.
Recalibrating. We are not starting over. We are recalibrating.
So when you recalibrate something, it's for it to work better. You don't have to start over and bring in a whole new product. You're recalibrating the product that you see that has good potential. So recalibrate this thing back to greatness. That's what I want to see. I don't care how early it is. It's Super Bowl or bust for me. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
indeed. Y'all
That's
just
it
move
right
around the line. Y'all go around the line. Next man up.
here.
I go last.
All right, I'll jump in. Um, Mine ain't gonna be that long. Mine's gonna be short, sweet. The Ulster Eckler signing, excellent. We got a better Antonio Gibson. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me for eating or whatever the case may be, but nigga was hungry. We got a better Antonio Gibson, right? A pass catching back that can block. You know what I mean? A veteran, stuff like that. Um, the center, Badazi, however you say his name, he gonna have to make his name here, because people do still look at him as a backup. You know what I mean?
No.
Um,
How? He's a
huh?
Pro Bowler. How is a Pro Bowler a back?
I mean, I get it, but people
Well, he
always look at
over.
who was it? Zach Martin, if I'm not mistaken.
You said what?
Who was the other center that was in front of him? Is it Zach
No,
Martin?
nobody.
Oh,
I say that it's just early because the first year he was backing up somebody. He after the first
okay.
he let him go and he was starting. He started for 3 years.
Okay. My bad. My
He
bad.
went to Pro Bowl
But
year and he went to the Pro Bowl season before last, and then last year he only gave up 3 sacks. In the last 3 seasons, he's got over 3,000 snaps and 5 sacks in three
yeah,
years.
yeah. So I'm not necessarily against that. I don't want to see no more Cowboys coming over here though. Like I said, if you want to bring a Cowboy over here, bring Mika Parsons. If you can't bring him, forget the rest of them. Let's go build elsewhere, in my opinion. Because we've seen what they got. And if that's what you want to look at, you know what I'm saying? We got some good pieces here still, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. So we already got a good front core. Adding Armstrong, might be okay. But I think there's better edge rushers out there. And I think that tomorrow we should definitely be going after some of them linebackers that didn't go off the board today. I also think we should sign Cameron Curl tomorrow. And if we're gonna bring Kendall Fuller back tomorrow, be a good day to sign him as well. But that's about it. Anybody else?
Oh, my bad. I apologize. For me, grades for the first day, open minded. Me would give them a B. Um, like I said, at first I was really hurt by the Cowboy signings just because it always hit me a different way. But time to look at the guys that we got, I'll give it a B for just the fact that it takes away from them. Then I'll give it a B because I actually look at what we are replacing here. And with the adding of the guard from the Chiefs, I'll probably give it a B plus because now you have 3, possibly 4 solid linemen, and all you have to pick is one out of the draft, and you can re-sign guys that you had last year. You can re-sign Charles, and you can re-sign maybe somebody else to have a backup, Larson, and you can have add some more depth through the draft, and you don't even have to draft, but maybe 2 more linemen, and you can always get undrafted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Queen is out there. Daniil Hunter is out there. If they could bring in Daniil Hunter or they could bring in Patrick Queen,
Devin
I,
White.
I would think that, yeah, I say that too. I would really like Devin White, but
Hey
what Hunter
Vito,
said about the size, I think Devin White might be a little small for our division, but he's tough though, and I like his speed. Yes, sir.
what do you think about it was just on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
Sneed,
Rose said that he went.
Chiefs.
They said that he went back, but I do like Snead.
Ooh, that would have been a nice pickup. Okay. All right. That would have been real nice.
I wanted him over anybody. I ain't gonna hold you. That was the first pick I would have got over Lyman and
Bro,
Kirk.
he didn't allow a touchdown to the Super Bowl the whole season.
The kid was he was solid.
Oh, all right, what you got, Ro? What you got for us, Ro?
I think you on
I think
mute.
you're on mute, Ro.
Yeah, because we ain't getting no feedback from you.
Yeah, we still can't hear you. Nope.
All right, hold on. Y'all got me? You got me now? You got
Yeah,
me now?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, all right, my bad, my bad. I knocked my mic out. My bad, my bad. Stepped on my cord. All right. So for me, this is the thing. Y'all got all them Cowboys that you done signed. Man, look, if y'all had to do it the first day, cool. Get it out the way, cause y'all can't keep on bringing these Cowboys in here. Y'all know how I feel about them. Y'all had to cut it out at some point. I'm not trying to hear it. Y'all ain't with it. I ain't trying to be with it. You got your Cowboys in. Let's not do what Ron Rivera did and had a team for calling us the Carolina Redskins or whatever they was calling us.
They was calling us the
The
Commanders.
Capathers, or whatever, all the little funny names that they had. Because we continue to sign all these people out of Carolina. Come on now. If you had to do it the first day, fine. Right? You already plucked their coach, their defensive coordinator, their center, their whatever it is. Fine. But yeah, you're irritating me with that a little bit. In fact, all you coaches out there keep bringing your old players in. You trying to rekindle. Don't rekindle here. You know what I'm saying? Don't you rekindling nothing here. You know what I'm saying? Try to get me something new. I want to smell some new flavor, smell some new juice. You know what I'm saying? The rekindling, you did it with Zach Ertz and all these different people. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the first day, I'm not gonna say it's a win or a loss. Um, I am going to say that in regards to the center that we got, Diaz, he's good, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When I looked at a little bit of film of him today, every play he was on a double team. Literally every play. And then again tomorrow when I come in, I'll have some photos for y'all so y'all can see what I mean. But every play it was a double. He doubled on every play. Him and the tackle, him and the guard, him and the guard on the D tackle, him and the guard on the D tackle, him and the guard on the D tackle. Not once did I see him go one-on-one. I don't know if right now, maybe with the line that they're building, maybe they'll be able to dedicate a guard to help him out every play. But with what we had last year, he wouldn't have been able to do that because we would have needed help on the outsides. So I'm very interested to see what they do at tackle. I don't like Wiley. Why he's still on the roster and why y'all ain't even cut him or trade him, I have no idea. But I don't think you can go into the season with Wiley as your starting tackle. I just don't. Maybe you feel like you could do better with him than what the previous regime did, than what Bieniemy did. Maybe that's how you feel. But Wiley was really bad last year, like really, really, really bad. So, I personally would never go into a season with Wiley as my starting tackle. I don't. That's not really what I think will work. So if Wiley is your starting tackle, I don't see you having enough to be able to dedicate a guard to be able to help Diaz out in the middle. You know what I mean? I'm not sure you're going to be able to have that much room to do that. Tyron Smith, ironically, on the film, he played pretty good. He was pretty solid last year. But Dak Prescott did get the ball out of his hand really fast. Dallas did have games where they had 3, 4, and 5 sacks in one game. Um, but those were not the games that Diaz played in, to be honest. The games he played in, the most sacks they gave up was 3, and that was against the Eagles. He played in 5 games last year, and the most of them, but most of them wasn't against high level competition. He played in both Giants games. He played in the last game of the season against us. He played against the Eagles on the 10th, and he played in I think it was the Jets. He played in the Jets game. So the Jets, I mean, and the Giants, of course, the Giants' first game of the season. So the Jets, their defense was good though. Don't get it. The Jets had a good defense, but they didn't have the complete team where I don't, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's just about Diaz. About the other guys, again, I don't really have much to say. I do think Carolina had over the last 3 years, despite Carolina's record being really bad, their defense was solid. I ain't gonna say solid. Their defense was pretty bad last year too. Carolina's defense, not the years before they were solid. When they had Wilkes, before Wilkes went to San Francisco, they were solid under Wilkes. Last year they were bad. I'm gonna be honest. Carolina's defense was really bad last year. So, I'm gonna go watch some film on some of the guys that we brought in, and tomorrow be able to really give y'all a better answer on what, or at least what I say. I don't like to really give too much early. I like, and basically I don't like to give away any analysis without actually looking at the film. I don't really give analysis based on stats. I can give an analysis on Diaz because I did watch the film on Diaz. For the Cowboys, the center that came over from the Cowboys, I did actually watch film on him today, and so I'm just giving y'all what I saw. He would call. Of course, he's calling the protections. He called a lot of doubles for his man, and the guard would double that defensive tackle across from him almost every play, whether it was a pass or a run. He blocked a lot of horizontal stuff, so he blocked to the left, to the right. Didn't get a lot of push up the field. He would hit you to the left or hit you going right. It wouldn't be a lot of push up the field. So that's just what I saw based on the film. So I'll have an in-depth analysis tomorrow on everybody.
You said he didn't play every game last year?
No, he didn't. He played 5.
What are you looking at this as? He played every game on my sheet.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I looked at his game log and it only got him on 5 games.
Yeah. Let me see. He started all 16 games last year. Started all 16 games.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Started 17 games in 2021 and did not start but 4 games in 2020 when he was drafted.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go look at the other film. So if he did start the game, that doesn't work in his favor because it was some games where, again, Dallas had some games where they gave up a lot of sacks. So they gave up 4 sacks in a couple games, 5 sacks in a couple games, maybe in 1 or 2 games. But Dallas had some games where they gave up a lot of sacks. Now, did he start is what I'm asking.
Yeah, he started.
Oh, okay, he started. Okay.
2021.
Okay.
The first year is the year that he didn't start until near the end of the year when they had some injuries and stuff. But 2021, 2022 is a Pro Bowl year. We didn't give up no sacks, and then last year he gave up 3.
Okay. So I'll go back and watch even more in-depth film on him. Then
also,
wait.
An update on Wiley. It looks like what I'm looking at. We signed him to a 3-year deal.
Resign Wiley.
Huh?
We signed him to a 3-year deal. I would have cut him.
It was a 3-year deal signed, and he's looking at $6.5 million the next 2 years.
I would have cut him.
I mean, not $6.5 million $6.5 million each year the next 2 years.
Yeah, I would eat that dead money. And cut him. That's me though. I just don't think he played well enough to stay on the roster. That's
the money they gave him.
Yeah, I would still cut him. I would still cut him and get rid of him. That's me. You know what I mean?
$6 million is cheap, and with help now, I'm not sure if you give. Well, that's what you hope for. I would say that you hope for what you see before the season starts, and maybe you
That's what I was thinking. What you're
as
saying.
the season starts, you see if you can hold up and play better with better talent around you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if Cosme is solid and you don't want to move him from guard, you just picked up another guard and you have your center moving forward. Whether you call it double teams every play or not, as long as you don't get the quarterback sacked and as long as we can complete the pass, I don't care how you call it. And if that's what you got to do to protect yourself, then so be it. If that turns around hurting us because you're doing some shit that's scared, I think that that's going to show out on film too. But it'd have to be a result where the quarterback is getting sacked and the offensive line is breaking down and stuff like that. If you call in double teams and you keep your quarterback safe, however you do it is fine with me.
No,
Not saying that doesn't show some lack of being able to beat your man one on one, or like you said, if there's injuries down the line and now the outsides need help when you're not able to call this, maybe that breaks down things later on down the line. Hopefully, right now, what they're trying to build is something a little bit more sustainable up front, that you have more solid pieces beside each other so that there's less pressure for one person to do more of the work. Everybody can now more. And remember, you know what? When I can say remember, but everybody knows that the offensive line is really about unison, about them guys being able to play together. You know what I'm saying? So the names and the signings are always strange to me because I watched the linemen that we picked in the draft grow to be great here. So
right.
picking
Mhm.
linemen are always a little questionable to me. I'm happy about, like I said, I'm more so happy that you took pieces that the Cowboys have used to be successful away. If they can help us, that's great. But you can Mike Barrow those guys if you want. They ain't cost that much, if you ask me. If you can take away from a number one teams, you can take a Pro Bowl center away. That is the guy calling the line shots. You got to teach somebody else that, or you got to bring somebody else in that has to get familiar with that, or somebody that coach is familiar that used to be in their old system, and that player may have deficiencies. That player may not have the same chemistry with the new squad and stuff like that. So I'm looking at what it subtracts from the Cowboys more than what it benefits us immediately. But I do need it for it to benefit us because this is the team that I like. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way that I would like that to work.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. And I mean, that was, again, I didn't watch a lot of film. I just watched limited film on them. And that's just what I was seeing. And again, hopefully they do have a solid piece. But again, I'm very interested and I'm going to have a good magnifying glass on what they do at tackle. Because that has been a point of struggle since Trent Williams walked out the building, to be honest. That
Mhm.
is that I mean, that's just, it just hasn't gone well. You know what I mean?
Sharon
And
Williams and Morgan Moses, to be honest.
yeah, yeah,
Morgan trash. I'm sorry. He was
yeah.
better
He
than
was, but he held
Wyatt.
up for us. I mean,
Man,
that
no,
one
man.
season.
He didn't know how to sit. If he sat down, we probably would still have him. He was playing on a bum leg, trying to be tough like Trent. Trent built different.
Well, to Morgan Moses' credit, he did go all the way to the AFC Championship this year. He was the starting guard for the Baltimore Ravens. To his credit, this year he was the starting guard for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean,
Yeah.
starting tackle. Sorry, starting tackle for the Baltimore Ravens this year. So, as bad as he was, they found a way to make it work with him. So I gotta give him a little credit for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna dog him all the way out. So I mean, and when you think about it, you had Morgan Moses and Trent Williams, who was together. One was for the Ravens, had the best record in the league. At the AFC side, Trent Williams was for the San Francisco, had the best record in the league on the NFC side. So we essentially lost the two starting left tackle and right tackle for the best teams in the league.
Mm-mm.
You know, on both
I guess
sides.
that does work well for journalism.
Yeah.
It doesn't work well for the fact that
I
we don't have
mean,
the same talent
for him to
that
play on
those
a
teams
bum
did.
leg, and I don't think he gave up more sacks than anybody across the line that season.
Yeah, yeah. And so I'm just saying we struggled at tackle since them guys walked out. So I'm going to be really hard on what they do at tackle because I'm not sure. I mean, for one, the pass rushers in the NFC East are really good. So I just think that you need to address that position because even with the Giants, I mean Marty Mornhinweg, I believe he retired. So I'm interested to see what they do. They made a play at Russell Wilson, so they could be about to draft a quarterback this year.
Who you
Just
talking about?
the Giants. The Giants made a play at Russell Wilson this they
Oh
made a
no,
play.
the Giants are looking at oh man. Who did I just hear the Giants was looking at?
Yeah, Russell Wilson interviewed with them though. Before he did the stuff what he did with Pittsburgh, but he went and did an interview with them. So that indicates that Daniel Jones won't be. I mean, maybe he will. Maybe they'll get forced to
Nah,
be stuck with him, but
they
I'm not
going they gonna
sure.
draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going with Daniel Jones again this year.
What are you talking about? He's under contract.
The Giants, yeah, I mean, whether he's under contract or not, I'm not sure he's going to be their starter, or they want to go with him if they can find another option. I believe he may be cut, and they might do
Because
what the
he didn't
Broncos
just
did.
sign that deal. He signed that deal last year, right?
Uh-huh.
Season
Yeah,
before.
they're gonna have to eat some money though. They're gonna have to
So
eat
it
a
was a
lot of money.
3-year deal. Remember that. It was a
144
3-year
million
deal.
dollars. They are stuck with that nigga, bro. That's why I laugh when they signed him, bro. I'm
How
not even
many years
crazy.
again?
4, if not 4, 5.
They're
That
gonna have
thing
to
might
eat
have
some
been
money.
4.
They're not gonna eat no money, bro. He went to the Eli Manning camp, bro, and all of that, bro. He's gonna
But
stay with them. They're gonna pick a rookie. That's what I'm saying. They interview Russell Wilson because it's free for 1 year. Who wasn't gonna interview I'm surprised we didn't interview him. I'm not even
I'm
gonna lie.
glad we did though.
Surprised
I'm
we
glad
didn't.
we didn't though. I'm glad we
No,
didn't.
I'm just saying that I'm surprised we didn't interview him though.
Right,
It's a free Super Bowl winning quarterback.
right.
You know
But
what I'm saying? Yes,
yeah,
he was horrific for the first 6 to 8 games,
Yeah.
but he played pretty good in the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? In a
He
division that
signed.
Super Bowl champion as well. You know what I'm saying? That he did play good at the end of the year, but I wouldn't have picked him because of how he looked in the beginning, and you can't have that.
Vito might be right. That might be. Vito is right. Danny Jones' contract breaks down. Danny Jones signed a 4-year, $25 million contract with New York Jets, including 16 in the signing bonus, 25 guaranteed.
y'all are right, but we just watched the Broncos eat up $84 million in dead money.
39.
39 against the cap, but they still got the guaranteed money.
We talking about what he got that
With
season?
Wilson, no, he still gets his guaranteed money from them. So he
No,
still
bro.
got to pay him.
No. They had to pay him what he got this season. He got his signing bonus and he got his contract this year, and that's why they didn't sign. That's why they benched him. Remember, that's why they benched him last year, so they didn't have to pay that. That's why they had to pay the penalty of the $39 million. That's why the Steelers get him for free this year. The Steelers only got to pay $1.2
No.
million for him.
It says the entire take on June 1st designated to take to take the $85 million 2024. That's what they got. It was 80 split 34 million in 2024 and 49 million in 2025. They are eating both years.
He said his man some shit though. He just now started.
They are eating both years. 34 million this year in 2024 and 49 next year in 2025.
Crazy.
Bruh,
I'm not. First of all, I'm that to my team to cut that nigga. We gonna trade him for a 7th round pick. Fuck that. I'm not getting rid of this nigga like that, bro. I'm not cutting him like that. I mean, he got a no trade clause in this shit. If you do, any player that got that, you got to stick it out. First of all, it's a quarterback.
Yeah.
All of that, and don't get me wrong, maybe the first part of it was his fault. But did anybody equate the same thing that I said that happened during our game? He ain't never lived in Denver. You got to get used to where you living at. And yes, he should have been able to do that during the offseason, this and then the third. His wife is a daggone hip-hop R&B star, and they are also internet media mogul stars outside of sports. Yes, maybe he should have focused on the profession that he has outside of just doing the other stuff. But, as a sponsored athlete, you got other stuff that you got to do. I'm not sure if he got used to the climate until later on in the season. Not using that as the only excuse, because I also don't think that he got better as a quarterback since leaving Pete Carroll. I also add to that to say that maybe Pete Carroll babysitted him in whatever his deficiencies were and hid them very well and then Sean Payton was expecting to get something that he didn't.
That was the thing. I think that really Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton hate that man. I think Sean Payton hate him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and so it was either Sean Payton or Russell Wilson. You just Sean Payton. At least with Payton, you got a chance to be able to still do something with Peyton. And, you know, with Wilson, that wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I really think that Sean Payton hate that man. And so I'm not, you know, that was clear. That was clear. I mean, and especially after Russell Wilson came out and said, oh, Sean Payton made him sit and told him if he don't do the injury thing or whatever Russell Wilson said.
Well, he did that so that he could get the money. He did
right
up to get the money and stuff like that. But see, look, guess what? This is a whole nother topic, but this is why I don't agree with these players getting paid this much money. It is nothing against what I know what they're getting paid for, and I know why they fight to get paid what they get paid. But this much money takes away from the caring about winning a championship.
Right.
More about getting paid, because I don't even understand how somebody like Mike Evans has grown to be probably one of my top 10, top 20 receivers of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The level of care, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't care no more. That's in the world period. That's just in life period today. A lot of people just don't care. And this much money starts to influence people in other ways. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of players like Ben Johnson. I respect him for going back to Detroit. It's a lot of people that should have stayed put to get to finish out what they started. And I'm not saying that you don't go for better opportunities or nothing like that. Life does ask for progression at times, but it's a lot of people who went just for the money and not for the opportunity to get better or win. Like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins should have never. He should have personally told any team that tried to give him $100 million or $180 million.
I agree
that I'm not going to take that.
I agree.
I don't deserve that. In order for me to win a Super Bowl, which I want at this point in my career, I'm going to take less money.
Yep.
Because I'm moving to Atlanta, which is cheaper than Minnesota.
Yep.
And I'm going to have way more land and everything. As a rich white man down here, I'm sorry to add color to it, but I'm just saying that you have enough money. You should be playing for a championship.
I agree with that.
That's all that should be important at this point in your life, at this stage of your career, especially seeing as though you're getting beat out by a kid 20 years younger than you.
Yeah. And then another thing with Cousin, just to your point, why you don't take all that money. Because do you remember when Russell Wilson was in Denver, especially the first season, how the other players was looking at him on the sidelines when he was playing bad? Like they wanted to steal that dude. Like they wanted to punch him in his face. You know what I'm saying? The fans was asking for their money back.
Yeah.
I mean, when you that price tag and you making that type of money, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be able to just people want to see what they spend. You become a laughing stock. That's the quickest way to become a laughing stock is to take that type of money. Yeah, Hainsworth. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quickest way that you become a laughing stock is by taking that type of money. Like you said, Cousin should have said, look, I appreciate the offer. And he should have told his agent, look, man, we not taking this amount of money because I don't want the extra added pressure. If you notice, Brady never did that. Peyton Manning never did that. Hell, Jordan only really did it towards the end of his career.
Well, to be fair, those guys got way more sponsorship and endorsement money to kind of ease the need to make my team give me more.
Right, but do you know why Cousins don't have that? Because he took all the money, all the salary money. That's why Minnesota had to gut their team. They couldn't keep Thielen. They couldn't keep Diggs. They got Jefferson. He was on a rookie contract.
Diggs wanted out because Cousins is a bum.
Diggs claimed he didn't. He claimed that wasn't what he. That's what he claimed. He claimed
Diggs said he wanted to win. He wanted out because he wanted to win.
But later on, he said it wasn't because of Cousin. Yeah, that's what he said later on.
That's because
he lied through his teeth.
If I get cut from the Bills, I need to always find a home.
Yeah, he claimed it wasn't Cousins. It just, it's something. It worked out for both teams, is what he said.
Yeah, that's a professional.
It's what he said.
Exactly, Vito. That's a professional in him. The hood and not the hood and us. the straight unadulterated truth in us is saying, Cousins, you a bum, and I'm not about to sit here keep on playing keep on keep on being in games, and you throw that thing, to the opposite, to the opposing team, and that thing gone the other way, and the game is over with, and
I
I'm looking
agree.
at you like, bro, what was that?
I'm, I'm,
I don't know, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what the
Oh,
problem with Cousins is for me. It's that he doesn't care if he loses because of that money.
exactly,
You
No,
know,
but
he really
exactly.
don't. He don't give a
that's what I just
damn
said.
if
That's what
he
I said
lose.
that the game is turned into, and I didn't realize that because I heard the argument about the players being respected, and people turn the money into making that be respect. And then I watched the NBA and I watched the Clippers and Donald Sterling happen, and I
Right.
watched how nobody likes me for using that comparison. All the LeBron James lovers, and I give y'all that if y'all want to. But I watched how Giannis took advantage of that moment and decided that he wasn't going to play. I watched a jealous LeBron. People can say what they want. I watched a jealous LeBron go tell everybody in the NBA that that wasn't fair. That's not something that you should do. That's unprofessional. Then the very next night said that nobody's going to play
Right.
so that
Right.
he could get to shine as if he came up with this bright idea. Giannis was the first one to do it. I remind everybody that. It wasn't about being on TV or nothing like that. Giannis is foreign. He has no idea about any of that. We're just not going to play because that's not right. LeBron played that night.
Mm.
All right.
I have to go back and
Exactly.
look. I have to go back and look. I'm gonna go
They
back
didn't.
and look.
He didn't play the next night. He told everybody. Nobody in the league playing. He
Right.
did get the whole league to stop playing the next night, but he played that night that Giannis that said he wasn't going to play. I'm not playing. My team.
Right.
We're not doing that.
Right.
It's not
Right.
professional. That's
You know
not
what
the
I'm
Yeah.
way
saying?
you
But
do
again,
it.
it wasn't about playing that night. It was more about the statement that, hey, this is how the owners feel about the players. No amount of money that they're paying us is going to show that they respect us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's what I'm saying. The money is where they feel like, hey, well, look, man, if they carry me, at least I get paid $90 million, bro. Like, man, whatever. But you're also now not competing.
Yeah.
You're
And
pulling the L Albert Hainsworth. Like that's never gonna get no respect
Hmm.
from me or fans and nothing like that. Not people that care.
yeah. And for the fans listening, this is why I say I'm not gonna put nothing on Cousins that I don't feel is true. If you look at Cousins' last playoff game, I was watching this game. The last playoff game he played, they were only down by a touchdown at the end of that game. It was a 4th and 10. He threw a 3-yard out and walked off the field and walked off the field. In the playoff game, that last playoff game he played, go back and watch the last play of that game. Cousins had the ball in his hand. He threw on a 4th and 10. He threw a 3-yard out, and before the guy got tackled, he was walking towards the sideline without a care in the world. I'm just saying, when you got somebody that's willing to do that, I just don't think that you're going to get what you're trying to get out of it. Fans see it. Other people see it. I don't. That's why I stopped spending my money with our team, with Washington, because and going to games and doing certain things, because I be damned. I work too hard for mine to give it away to somebody who ain't even trying to win. When Gruden, this was at the end of the Gruden era, when Gruden got to luncheon, tripping, I don't know what Gruden was doing. Now we see, when he
I tell, I
yeah.
tell, I tell you what group.
I mean,
He
Gruden
was
just
sitting players down. The players was, going on rendezvous.
yeah,
With his
hey,
little honeydew melon. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Capri Bibbs. That's all
Yeah,
I'm gonna say. Capri Bibbs. Once the Capri
exactly.
Bibbs situation happened with Gruden,
Set Capri Beans down.
yeah,
And not to be funny, and not making this a funny situation on some
no,
man time.
yeah.
He got that man hurt. Ended
He
that man career.
he got Alex Smith hurt. Jay Gruden got Alex Smith hurt by cutting Capri Bibbs, because of some young lady that was apparently sleeping with Jay Gruden, and then end up sleeping with Capri Bibbs too. When Jay Gruden found out, he cut Capri Bibbs. And
Mm-hmm.
we heard this from Capri Bibbs. If you follow Capri Bibbs on Instagram or Twitter at that time, he was vocal about what happened. And the very next week, and if y'all want to go back and look at the whole thing, go look at it. The very next
Yeah.
week, Alex Smith got hurt. And we were 6-3 at
Alex
this
Smith got
time.
hurt.
We
Yeah.
were 6-3 at this time when he
That blew
did
our
that.
whole season up.
Blew the whole season.
Cause Jay Grew want to be on so wild. I ain't see
Yeah.
anybody getting all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause he about to take me there. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hey,
Yeah,
y'all on the nature
he
show,
wild.
baby. Y'all on
He
the
wild
nature
for that
show.
one, man.
Yeah, I'm
He's
sorry we
super
had to put you
wild.
out there. That's why when he was talking trash about RG3, I'm just thinking about Capri Bibbs and Alex Smith, and so I'm just like, this man ain't got no room to talk about nothing. He should shut up and go
um,
hide. He should really go hide.
I mean, even though he was telling the truth on some of the statements that was made,
He's
you
still.
know,
He better be lucky
still
RG3 ain't
you
bring that up. He better be lucky RG3 ain't bring that up. He's very lucky because RG3 could have brought that up. Maybe RG3 don't know. But if
and he
RG3 would
got
have
RG3 know. He know. He know. He know.
yeah,
He
so
know. That's like in the hood. You at the basketball court, you hear people, you know. Yeah,
yeah,
Joy got stolen on last week. He was up here, you know what I'm saying? You know.
yeah,
Even if you
yeah,
ain't right there in the conversation, you hear that thing, you know.
yeah. So we
You
ain't
know.
gonna hold y'all that long, man. We gonna wrap it up, man. Again, any like last things y'all want to say before we go ahead and sign off? Anything last?
Man, I'm just excited now to see what tomorrow holds because like I say, it's it's interesting because we need another tackle. Two,
In my opinion, yeah.
you know, and I mean they out there though, you know. Even if we get Marvin Harrison Jr., they are still out there. There's still good tackles out there. But I'm with Vito. I want to trade back and use capital.
I mean, no. That's my wishful thinking because I assume that the draft next year is going to be loaded because there are a lot of defensive players. It's a lot of the top defensive teams of last year in college. There are fewer players coming out than there were 4 years ago when some of the stars that we know today were coming out. So there's like 40
Mm,
something more prospects that are possibly coming out next year defensively then, like the way that wide receivers deep this year is going to be deep in the defensive side next year. So my thing,
mm,
if that's what you're trying to build here, outside of an offense that can contend for a Super Bowl, you're going to get a lot of pieces next year after you already spend your money in free agency. These guys going to be here for 3 years. So if you're going to get guys that are going to start, like Morris Armstrongs, that I'm not sure about whether they start or not, at least I can say, okay, these are some guys. And what if you draft guys that come in and you find you a Micah Parsons type of build, you know what I'm saying, what type of player that you can say, hey, look, we're going to have Dorrance teach you how to do these things, what technique I want you to use. Hey, you got to take it in. We're going to get Zach Ertz since he's in his probably last 2 years of his career. We're going to get you to show this young guy how we want you to get open in the system. How do you get open in this system? Hey, you were a guy that scored 28 touchdowns in 2 seasons or 3 seasons under my offense. How does this young guy get the same type of production? If this coaching staff can teach these guys how to grow and build that type of culture, these are great signings outside of the grade that we're personally trying to give them right now. But it's got to go that way.
Right, right. And my thing is this too. Let me say this too towards the end of this is please y'all be right. Y'all bringing in these players. The one thing we didn't like about, for me at least, I didn't like, about some of the people that reverberate in, and be enemy too. You brought Wiley here with you, and Wiley was horrible, bruh. Wiley was horrible. Barton was a horrible signing to me. Barton was a horrible signing to me. So, especially because you swapped him for Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb wasn't great, but what you tried to replace him with was horrible. Did you do any scouting on these players prior to bringing them here? So, if you are going to sign these players and do all of this, at least make sure they're viable, man. Don't bring nobody bad, here. That's the only thing about it because again, you already bad. So you going out signing and you got all this money and when you got money, you got options. You got options. You know what I mean? So at least do your due diligence before you bring these guys here, especially people that come here with you from another place. Because when they're bad, it just looks like you're doing personal things and doing personal favors at that point. Because you might have known their career is over, or you might have known whatever the case may be, or you're trying to prove to the last organization that, oh yeah, this guy I could have did this with him, and whatever it is personal you're trying to prove. That's what it looks like when you bring a guy in that's bad. To me, at least. So that's why I say, at least let them be decent. But yeah, man, we ain't gonna hold y'all too much, man. It's the Nature Show. We're gonna come at
Yes,
y'all
sir.
tomorrow. Day two, gives you exactly what's going on, keep y'all up to date. Then Thursday, we got a couple, we got something special going on. We're gonna try to get y'all updated on last season, all our awards. We got the Nature Awards, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune into that. Everybody online, we still got a whole heap of people online, man. So shout out to everybody online who been tuning in with us this whole time. We see you. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on Instagram, and everybody on Facebook, and anybody out there on YouTube as well. Shout out to the listener earlier. Let me go ahead and get his name up so I can go who was commenting. Prince Williams. Prince Williams. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Prince Williams, man, for chiming in, man, and really giving us some energy today, baby. Y'all know what this is. This is the Nature Show. I'm ETA Money Row. Point B didn't already signed off, so I'm gonna sign off for Point B. I'm gonna let the guys finish it up.
That boy Big Son, you already know what it is, man.
Vito, you already know what it is. Shout out to the Nature Show. Do it the same way each and every time, man. Catch y'all on the next one.
Yes, indeed.
You know it.